welcome to FnA, yeah, yeah, welcome to FnA, 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 yeah, yeah, shout out to Fred and AJ, make no mistakes, got so many snakes, you know that they love, they wake and bake, open the tub to perfection, they got a whole brand new collection, and so much heat up in the rack that 2025 is their year with no question, so what I'm telling y'all is hang around, they breeding for Desical stranger clowns, y'all know they producing the bangers now, just get with the game, don't be strangers now, Fred and AJ, y'all know that y'all famous now, they guys low with the hypos, wanna fill up all that rag space, go and holler at FnA. Yeah, yeah, welcome to FnA, welcome to FnA, yeah, yeah, welcome to FnA, welcome to FnA, yeah, yeah, welcome to FnA, welcome to FnA, yeah, yeah, welcome to FnA.
What is up, everybody?
What up?
Big shout out again to Patrick for that killer intro, man. And if you haven't heard, he's actually the official musician of the Whiskey Bomb Network now. So
The Whiskey Bomb Dre.
you're going to be hearing a lot more from Patrick.
Hell yeah.
So
He's a dope human being, too.
oh, definitely. If he has he's probably commented on your videos if you put videos out there. So he's already supporting you probably.
If you don't have videos, he probably found a way to give you a bad comment.
Right. Speaking of comments, let's see who's in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Got Robinson, Exotic Reptiles. If I don't know if we can. Oh yeah, this is on Wiz's channel, so we can't turn him blue. I don't think. What up, Mike?
What up?
More Fab. He's on Sky Limits network. Hell yeah. Guys do some good interviews over there. What up, Don D?
What up, dog?
And there's the man, Snake Man Pat.
Oh yeah.
Got Proxima, Mike and Melissa in the house.
What up, guys?
Also a channel sponsor and Puftreon members. If you're not a member of that Puftreon, what are you waiting for? All your money goes into a savings account. You don't lose any money. You also can get money from other breeders because you'll have more racers in the races we do at the end of this show. You can only come out ahead.
Right.
Jay Slithers.
What up, Jay?
Yo, we got some big news coming up for the races in April. Mike from Banana Bread Royals. So he's going to do a $100 credit the first Sunday in April. Yeah, there it is. Shout out to Mike. The second Sunday in April, he's doing a $300 credit. And then on 4/20, $500 credit. So if you ain't a Puftreon member, you want to join now. You want those extra races when Mike starts giving that mad cash away.
Right.
That's going to be $900 in credit altogether. So.
Right.
What up, James? Silent Assassin.
What up?
Got the Pink Panther. What up, Sammy?
Sammy Vargas and the motherfucker.
Another big supporter. What up, Gage? How you doing? Tammy, what's up? Been a minute.
What's happening, Tammy?
Old school viewer.
Right.
Eric B. No rock him.
In the building.
Almost sound like Wiz there.
Right.
In the building.
In the building.
Again.
That's what I was going
All City Serpents, James B. What up?
What up, James?
Oh, we got Snakes for the Memories.
Oh, shit.
How's it
Johnny
going?
People!
Dropping them whiskey bombs. Appreciate that.
Hell yeah.
Got
Love to see
Keys
the whiskey
backstage
bombs.
and in the chat.
Oh, yeah.
Third Coast Constrictors out of Texas. What it do?
What up?
Dickie Foster. How's it going?
What up, Dickie?
So before we bring our guest out, we're just going to play a quick ad here for that new thing coming up, that new online conference.
It's called EPIC, the Exotic Pet Industry Conference, and it's free to register at epic.live. Epic is over 20 special guests across 16 sessions covering industry trends, marketing, branding, podcasting, and YouTube. Epic is for pet keepers and breeders. It's for gecko and invert lovers. It's for snake and spider lovers. Epic is for anyone who enjoys these amazing animals. Did I mention it's free? Register now at epic.live.
Banana Bread Royals demonstrates that taking risks leads to incredible rewards. Their work with Hypo is outstanding, and the way they combine it with their Wookiee line is truly unparalleled. The interaction with other genes like Blackhead and Stranger produces breathtaking, one-of-a-kind animals. Be sure to follow them on Morph Market and Instagram. Static Morphs, an up-and-coming breeder, has been working quietly under the radar and producing some heat, most notably working Stranger and Chocolate into DG, Clown, and Pied combos. Go on their Morph Market today and see what they have available. Balls of Paradise is an up-and-coming breeder who is focusing on higher-end morphs such as Monsoon and Sunset, striving to unlock their possibilities. They also breed rodents for the southern Florida area. Please follow them on Instagram and Morph Market. Lindworm Exotics specializes in a multitude of reptiles such as ball pythons, dual boas, coastal rosy boas, and false water cobras, to name a few. They are dedicated to providing the public with well-adjusted animals with superior quality. Follow them on Instagram and Morph Market. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. At Mantooth Captive Bred Reptiles, our motto is simple: live your dream. Black box reptile cages should be your go-to for high-quality reptile enclosures and rack systems. They offer versatile hatchling and adult racks that work with both Vision and Freedom Breeder tubs, as well as a wide range of terrestrial, arboreal, and bioactive cages. Located in Beaufort, Georgia, Black Box Reptile Cages offers local pickup as well as ship and freight. Check them out at blackboxcages.com and use code WhiskeyBomb25 for 5% off.
Big thank you to the network sponsors. We will have a commercial later for our channel sponsors. We got a couple more people we got to shout in the chat, and then we'll bring out our guest.
Right.
What up, Aaron? Batter up.
Hopefully, we get to find out what's better than sushi today.
What up, Elias?
It's got me stumped.
It's got me stumped. All right, let's go ahead and bring our guest out. I got everyone in the chat here. Appreciate everyone.
Hell yeah.
And this is going to be Miguel from Perfectly Engineered Reptiles.
Hell
Welcome.
Yeah. What's up, man?
Good, guys. How you doing?
Good.
Chilling, brother. Been looking forward to this one.
Uh-oh. Audio just cut out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, your audio cut out. Or maybe it's us. I don't know.
I can hear you.
Okay. Well, let's just keep going. I can hear you a little bit. I'll just
Let
turn
us
you
know
up
in
here.
chat. Let us know in chat.
Chat, can you hear me? If you can hear me, chat, let me know. Let's see what they say. Can you guys hear me? Hello?
I hear you. It's just there's feedback.
It's just crazy, though.
Oh,
Man.
my turn now? You guys had it first.
I turned you right.
Man, yeah, StreamYard be tripping, I swear.
Right.
Oh, they say they can hear me. Everybody says they can hear me.
Sweet.
Cool. So, yeah, man, you just want to give everyone a quick intro of your business and what you breed and do, and
Yeah, sure. So yeah, Miguel, I've been into reptiles in one form or another since 1999. I haven't been breeding that long or keeping that long. I'm a vet. I was in the Marine Corps from 2000 to 2005. And around September 2001, kind of changed what I thought I was going to do while I was in the service, and kind of had to give up all my animals and go overseas for a while. And then had kids and life got in the way. So I kind of didn't have animals till about 2019, and then literally just driving down the road in Orlando, Florida, saw a little sign that said Reptile Show, and I'm like, well, what the hell? Let me go see. And, bought a ball python, and for like many of us, like the rest is history. Now here we are behind me.
Hell yeah.
I'm an engineer by trade, so that's the play on my name.
I like it.
Perfectly. Yeah. I work in, I guess you'd call it like the theme park industry for one of the major theme parks here in Central Florida. And do this at this scale. I don't really know if it's a hobby. It's more like another full-time job.
Right.
So it keeps me busy, but I love it. And it's, but like a lot of us, I'm happy that I found something that I enjoy doing, even if it makes me tired sometimes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
And the community's awesome. So chat, thanks for joining, and all you guys, it's awesome. I love how cohesive and together we are.
Hell yeah, man. I love this community so much.
Right. People always there for people.
It blows me away sometimes, man. Like,
the cool thing is generally you end up with people who are like-minded in some way, and because we're all reptiles, that's the common thing that binds us. We get such a diversity of other stuff, whether it be music, upbringing, from like what makes the community. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. There's someone in every trade, and cool.
All of them are flavors.
Yeah.
So, how many reptiles do you have back there?
So if we don't include hatchlings, so things for sale, I'll go with like breeding stock and kind of my collection. And for those of you who don't know, I'm partnered with Chris Davenport, the Coco Dude, and I handle a portion of his ball python stock, and then we actually have some other stuff. But for the purpose of the numbers, I just kind of put it all together. So the total, it's a little bit more mine, but we're combined. It's both of ours. Ball python wise, I'm sitting for like breeder stock about 170, with about 115 of those being females, and then I have cave dwelling Highland rat snakes. I have bull snakes. I have file snakes. I have, which is one of my favorite things.
Especially whenever they're going in a circle and making noises.
And I have some.
It ain't me, dude.
You're not on. Yeah, you gotta turn it on, buddy. He didn't have his mic on.
Oh, I didn't put it on.
He was saying the file snakes were really cool.
Yeah. April, shout out to April Linkfield, House Snake Morse. She's the one who got me into them. She knows so much, it's not funny. So I better have tri-stripe or it's not perfectly engineered. Okay. Yeah. I have a pretty strong opinion on tri-stripe. I might make an enemy.
Yeah, we got several friends into tri-stripe, so we're just waiting to make our move into it.
I think it's a cool gene, but when it's a bad example, man, you can't almost tell it's even tri-stripe. There's some on Morph Market that they're selling. I'm like, how is that tri-stripe? Like, how do they know?
Right.
You can't even tell.
Have you seen the?
But when it looks good, it looks fantastic.
Right. Have you seen the new tri-stripes Ken Masick put out?
Oh, I haven't even looked. No.
Man, they're crazy. It's got like GHI and his extremist gene in it. They're nice.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it.
They almost look like a couple of them almost remind me of blood pythons, the way they look with the pattern.
Oh, man, they look crazy. Blood pythons are gorgeous.
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so in total, I'm about 220 in my breeder stock. Right now, my breeding season is really late, so I still have about 40 subadult / babies. They're not really babies; they're like at least 7 months old at this point. But I should have eggs in about 2 or 3 months. It's just been a later season for me, which I heard a lot of people are going through that. So I don't think I'm the only one.
Yeah, I've been hearing it too. Yeah. It seems like almost every year, You got people saying that.
It gets a little later.
Yeah, it sucks. Like I always feel bad because like Daytona, I always feel like Daytona. I would love to have new babies, and I want to do Daytona, but I always get them in like September and October. Time for Daytona.
So I mean, there's advantages in that too. If you're bringing all bigger snakes and people are looking for bigger snakes, I mean, you got them.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And Daytona in August, isn't it?
Yeah, like usually the late, like August 20th, August 24th, somewhere in the 20s.
Gotcha.
Is usually when it is, which is right around my birthday. So I usually don't get a birthday weekend except that I'm partying in Daytona. So it's not bad.
Hell yeah. That definitely makes it nice.
Yeah.
So what's the thing you're most excited about working this year?
So yeah, I always have an interesting. I think my most exciting possible like baby, like production is I have a shot at super chocolate axanthic desert ghosts.
Ooh, crazy.
Which would be pretty cool. I mean, it's one of those. It's so the male is or the female is a visual het DG, and the male's double het. So it's long odds, but you got to shoot the shot.
Fingers crossed, man.
Right? Oh, yeah, man.
Right?
Yeah. But one of the other things that I'm most excited for, because it's kind of been since I've gotten into reptiles, so they're not like expensive or crazy, but it's just one of the goals I set when I was young, is most of my boas are local boas. I was big into the locals, and there is a northern Mexican species or subspecies called the Tarahumara mountain boas. They're a dwarf species. They get about the same size as balls, but they don't even weigh as much. They're thinner. Females are about 3.5, 4 feet. Males are about 3 feet, fully grown, and they take 5 or 6 years to get to size. And I got a potential to have my first litter this year. Ooh. So while it's not anything crazy genetically, it's a milestone from when I first got inspired to be into the hobby. So something that a lot of times I feel like new breeders, we set goals, but as we learn about the industry and as we grow, those goals kind of get moved aside because you set higher goals. Mm-hmm. And that's one of my few goals from the very beginning that I've held on to. So I'm excited to that journey is going to be complete.
What kind of bow? Cool. What kind of bow was that again?
They're called Tarahumara.
Yeah, are you able to show? Are you? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a mountain range in northern Mexico.
Okay. Yeah, I've never even heard of it, so this would be interesting.
Yeah, Rocky got some, and he calls them Tia Tamaras.
Oh, okay. That's crazy. I never heard of a boa that only gets like 3-4 foot.
This is a 5-year-old male.
Wow. Kind of reminds me of
all the benefits of acting like a big boa without it actually being a big boa. They're really dark.
Wow.
Yeah. Even got male.
It's even got belly pattern. That's
right,
cool.
Right.
Oh, yeah. It's very orange. He's got like pinkish orange belly. I don't know what the camera shows, but
yeah, the cameras hate color orange for some reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he's like, he's not skinny. He's very healthy.
Right.
Around.
Wow.
Right.
Different than.
Right. He's like tall.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Definitely cool.
Now, when they first came into the trade, from the wild, they were known for being buttholes, but we've kind of got them a little nicer. Mines aren't so bad, as you can see.
Yeah, he seems chill, man.
Yeah, right.
Hell yeah.
Got those crazy, like granite-looking eyes too.
Right. Almost looked like I almost thought he was in shed or something. The way his eyes.
No. Their eyes look metallic.
Gotcha. That's cool.
Definitely cool.
Getting them back in isn't always the easiest.
Nope, I want to be out.
All right. Chat. Everybody answer. Everybody answer in the chat.
What tastes better than sushi?
But
thought the
yeah,
same-
I mean, I always liked boas. Same thing, you know. I think there's a lot, you know. Nicole from Lady Tiz, they always talk about how intelligent the big snakes are. Tarahumara is like that. They'll watch you if you let them. They're very intelligent. Not that balls aren't intelligent, but they're not really interested in what you got going on.
Right.
The bull snakes are probably the most intelligent snake I own, but they're also the scariest snake I own. Not from like a damage standpoint, but like they literally watch you, and it's almost like they know they need to sneak attack you because you don't think you're about to get bit, and then they just lunge. So that one, I've enjoyed trying to calm them down, but I have one female that is just not interested in me helping her.
That's funny. Yeah. My pine snake she's a great girl, but I accidentally scared her the other day trying to give her some food. Fucking turned around on me super fast, raised up like a cobra, and that big old.
Yeah, they hiss so loud. They're like easily my. Do they do the pine snakes? I know we're really close to the tail wag.
Yeah, those Pituophis, man, they throw a fit.
But they're so smart, so pretty.
Cool too, yeah.
They are.
Shout out to Chris from BNS. Thank you, sir.
I was gonna say I just got a northern Mexican pine from him too. So
he is the one who's these are my first Pituophis, and he's the one who's guiding me through care because these are breeders. I didn't buy babies.
Oh, okay.
So he said when we picked him up, he said these are huge because I think his are 3-4 feet. Both of my girls are over 6 feet. So and that's what makes them so scary is that when I'm holding them, I'm not actually able to hold them far enough away to not strike.
Yeah, that would be a bit interesting. I could see that.
I actually got gloves just because I got to, like when they bite, you know, they are more intense, so it hurts.
Right.
And you bleed. So I literally bought gloves, not because I thought like it's scary, but I'm just like looking like my hands, you know, they look all scarred up. So I'm like, I gotta protect my skin a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, and you know, part of this is kind of one of the issues I was or wanted to talk about with you guys. Is as you can see, I started out with just ball pythons. I think so many of us did. Before I even got any other species. My first species I got that wasn't a ball python was actually the file snakes. But and I would show you one, but they all just ate today. So sorry, I can't pull them out.
Those things are cool the way they make noises when they turn around and like back and forth on each other.
And the fact they never bite. The musk I hate, but that they're not like biologically designed to bite really. Like they've never even attempted it to me.
Wow.
They are, you know, most people don't know. I'll give you a little history of the file snakes because I was educated by April, but they're in the same genus as cobras. They de-evolved their fangs, so they actually have a slot, but there's no fang.
Wow, I did not know
because they became scavengers, not hunters. So they mostly eat dead things. They're a lot cooler than ball pythons. They want their hotspot to be like 80, 82.
Wow.
And really, when they don't like you, they just musk. And they're called file snakes because they have those keeled scales, which is very similar to like your nails. And they can actually shed those off. And they're shaped like a triangle more than round, with the idea that if another snake or something grabs them, they're harder to bite because they'll actually let the scales pop off and try to get away.
That's cool.
But very smart, very like sneaky in the way that they try to hunt. There are, I think, universities that have actually shown people build food mazes, and they'll learn the maze, and you can switch it up, and they'll relearn a maze to go get food. Like very intelligent. They have a better memory than most snakes. And the only negative I found is, you know, if they're unhappy or they don't like you, they'll musk. And the musk is, there's probably worse musk, but it's the worst that I've ever dealt with.
I've never dealt with a good musk.
Right.
Yeah. But this one is like, one of the girls, the bigger girls, musked my girlfriend.
Oh, no.
It was all over her shirt.
Oh.
And she decided that it wasn't even worth washing the shirt. She literally just threw the shirt away.
I don't blame her.
And then you got freaks like Dave Kaufman that love the smell of musk. Like he gets musty. He's like, oh, I love that smell. It's like, wow.
That's why he's so good at what he does. That's just, I don't have it.
Yeah.
But yeah, my point was, I don't know if you can, my goal, like so many as others, is for this to replace my job one day, and you got to take certain steps in relieving yourself of responsible, right? You have to be responsible, no more car payments, pay your house off, do all those things are important, I think, if you want to be a full-time reptile breeder.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably tough to be a ball python only at this point, unless you have that upfront cash to invest at all those higher end projects.
Yeah, right. Like if you do the Miguel route, like Miguel
Kudos to him. I was never understood why people gave that guy hate.
Right.
Hundreds of thousands of dollars. We all grow. You might not have had what he was looking for, but you were buying the offspring of those. Like it's weird when the hate of people with money coming in.
Right.
It's like, but we need those, or if it's nothing but just entry level guys, who are the breeders selling to?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Right. It needs every level of this game.
Yep.
I hate the term pyramid scheme because we are a pyramid. That part,
I agree. Yeah.
Like
but
life
a scheme is a lie. A scheme is a falsehood.
Right.
And there's so many successful cases. Now people drop off, but that's for different reasons, not because they got lied to.
Right.
Right.
And they may have lied to themselves, but research would show successful cases. So I hate the term pyramid scheme. It's a pyramid. I'll agree with that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Isn't like all businesses pyramids? You got your guy at top and then you have the janitors at the bottom.
Yeah, you don't ever start at a company on top. You always have to work your way up.
I think the thing that makes this tricky, that hurt us, the reason that it's, I think there's no denying we're in a low from where we were during the COVID times. And it's definitely, sales are a little bit tougher for some people, is we've had, new breeders, the COVID breeders that came in. I guess I kind of include myself. I beat it by a little bit. I was 2019.
Same.
But it happened. Yeah, it happened right after I got in.
Same.
So I could lump myself into the COVID group. We didn't have to grind and learn how to get customers because we had Morph Market, the shows. It was literally blowing up. You could just move them as quickly as you could make them. And now that that's not the case, so many people are having to learn a skill that they should have already learned. They didn't have to. And so that hustle and that grind, it's weird when you're learning it in year 4 instead of year 1.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah. I will say the year 1 for us was probably the easiest because we were scheduled to work shows. The shows got canceled because of COVID. And then we got everything on Morph Market. Everything sold on Morph Market pretty much. And then by the time it came to do a show, we didn't have anything for the show. We had like 7 animals, I think, for the first show we did.
And we all got, me included, we all got used to it. And you had to know, most of us would have had to know if we had the foresight, hey, this doesn't last forever. And that's why, some of the big breeders will call the big dogs out, the Justins and, some other people like that. The reason why they did good was they cut their teeth doing the hard stuff, not during the good times. So for guys like Justin and the older, bigger breeders, Constricted, what's his name? I can't remember his name right now. But all those guys who were doing it for a long time, this is just like it was in like 2015 and, the other hard times. Like to them, this is normal. They're fine.
Right.
And they know how to promote themselves. And it's the rest of us that now have to catch up. And all the people getting out, unfortunately, realize, well, the level of effort required now is not something I was kind of expecting. So I'd rather just quit. And that's, their prerogative. I'm not knocking them, But we're now at the point where, do you really want to do this? We're going to find out,
Right.
For me, the answer is yes.
Well,
but you see a lot of collections going up for sale. I mean, I think you guys got a collection.
Yep.
I've probably in the last 3 months, I've had 3 or 4 people, hey, I got a list and, this is what I'm getting rid of. And I always feel bad, but I think it's a necessity. We need to retract a little bit. We're a bit big right now for what the market is asking.
Right. And I think there's always going to be those people that are getting out, and it just seems like ever since I've been in it, there's always someone getting out.
Oh, yeah.
And there's someone getting in, though, you know? So, I mean.
Yeah, I think that's what the focus is. We have to, it's cool hanging out in our little inner circles. And, I'm in Florida. For those of you guys who don't know, I'm in Central Florida. Florida has probably the closest knit reptile group. We all do shows together. We go to dinner in groups of like 25. It's crazy. I don't always love the food stuff, but we're all so close. But what are we doing to get young breeders and new breeders and new keepers? They don't even have to be breeders, new keepers. What do we, it's not enough anymore to rely on your local shows and to just he misses us. You always, this is the guy who left Florida. I don't feel bad.
He's right there though. He's a lot closer to you than we are.
Oh yeah.
I wish we were that close. I'd love to be a lot closer to like Tinley and that Sear. Look, I definitely want to go to one of these next Sears. Like that's probably going to happen before another Daytona, honestly. And I love Daytona. I mean, I just didn't like the weather, but the show was amazing.
Too hot for you?
Yeah, too humid. Not so much the heat, humidity. Yeah, like stepping outside and just like,
Look, you don't have to you can just leave the reptiles in the yard.
Right.
Back there, you're good.
Yeah, man. If I lived there, it'd be great for the reptiles and the plants. Like, because we like plants too, and yeah, they hate it in the wintertime here in Colorado.
Right.
Yeah. There's plus and minuses. You have some species. It's probably easier for you with the northern pines than it is for me with my bulls.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, we just pretty much leave them in a tank. I don't even have a hot spot right now for my MBKs. It sounds like they need probably a little bit like a high 70s or something, but they seem to
actually even put heat on my bulls. I just leave them ambient, but I can't cool them down. I can't actually make my garage cold enough to technically cool them down. I can get to 65. That's the coldest.
Right. Let alone brumation, I'm sure. Like
yeah, I need to get like a wine cooler next. I'm going to try to breed them this year without it, and I know other people have, so I'll give it a shot. But if they don't end up going, I got to buy a big wine cooler so I can stick it for brumation.
There you go. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. So is that what do you see for because we were talking a little bit in the chat earlier, and you were saying you wanted to talk a little bit about the future of the industry. So like,
yeah, I think we all have our discussions, and I like most people, I subscribe to so many of the channels, you guys included. Usually I'm cleaning immediately after this call. I'm going to run back here and finish cleaning, and doing water changes and stuff about where we are, about our projects, the things that excite us, maybe even future projects. But I don't hear a lot of how to get new keepers in. And I'm not saying how to sell to breeders. I see plenty of those channels. Here's my next crazy double recessive, triple recessive project, which obviously that's catering to other breeders.
Other breeders, right.
But that pyramid is only a pyramid if the base at the bottom is the biggest. And if that base isn't growing, the rest of the pyramid is unstable. It struggles to maintain the structure. And I actually talked about it with a friend of mine recently. A lot of these people I'm gonna mention, they get made fun of, but there is no denying that they grew the base. And I'm gonna be doing YouTube videos, I was telling you guys backstage, and it's not gonna be for you. It's not gonna be for the Whiskey Bomb Network. It's not gonna be for those channels. It's gonna be for kids and people who don't have snakes. And let me just talk about a base gene and stuff that doesn't excite us because we've kind of passed that phase.
Yeah, man.
And I've even reached out to my county. I haven't gotten any scheduled yet, but they let me know, like, because I needed to know, how do I do schools? How can I get in? My company will allow me to do like volunteer days. I don't get a lot, but I want to use those for education on reptiles.
That's dope.
Because I'll be making high-end stuff, but I'll also be making low-end stuff. And there is an effort that we have to have if we want, you don't talk about it, but if you can get a 12-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 14-year-old in, his parents going to buy him that snake. But eventually he's going to be an adult. And these are the people who are going to be potential customers and future breeders for 40, 50, 60 years. Yep. And it's great when we get a 40-year-old man like me in the hobby, but when I got 20 years left,
right.
And I'm not the future. I'm the immediate future, but I'm not the long-term future of this hobby.
Yeah.
And not that I'm going to mimic their channels, but a lot of the guys who helped get me in, they're out. They're not making videos no more. And I wonder, because I don't know who replaced them, but the Chris Hardwicks of the world, where we all, I moved on from him very quickly, but there's no denying in the beginning, I soaked up every video I could watch from that guy.
Definitely.
I watched every one of his videos all the way up to the end. Like,
And if I asked you who's doing videos like that now, maybe you know, but I sure as hell don't. I haven't seen them.
Not really.
You know, who's showing me all the cool mahogany, based stuff? You know, now nobody's making these 2-3 codom jeans, but maybe we should. Maybe that's what's getting the new people in. You know,
Right.
$150 snake, $100 snake. You know, and teaching them about husbandry, and doing reviews of incubators and why tubs work, and it's stuff that we all already know. But if I was researching it right now and I looked it up, and the first video that came up was an 8-year-old video by Chris Hardwick, I wouldn't think this is a big industry.
Right.
that's
I would
very.
think I would think it's the time has passed. This is 8 years old, and this is what you're showing me.
I never even thought of it like that. You're completely right.
I will say Emily and Ed Snake Discovery, they definitely bring a lot of people into the hobby.
They don't.
They're probably the biggest. They are probably the biggest.
Right. They do kind of more basic videos. They don't really get into genetics.
And
usually
then, like,
they do sometimes.
Then like
They're amazing for the hobby.
Yeah.
I don't think they make breeders.
Right. Well, then there's the
No.
bigger gene shows where they go into like combos and stuff, and not just explore the one gene or whatever.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there definitely should be like that beginner stage of entry, like type show.
Yeah, even the history. I always thought it was cool when you heard about like who discovered it and how it came in, and
Definitely.
you know, people forget that, like, you know, nobody talks about it anymore because you feel like there's no need to, because we're not around any new breeders. Like albino, the first time I saw albino, I have to always think about that. But I'm like, the first time I saw an albino ball python, I was like, this is the pie. The first time I saw just the plain pie, I was like, this is the coolest snake in the whole. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know, now we take for granted that we walk by a show and they're $200 everywhere, but like at one point they were $50,000 and the most amazing thing you'd ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you got to get that back. I want to get those people excited.
Yeah.
And then blow their minds when you show them the 4-gene double recessive. But yeah, and I think, why don't more people see that? You know, I was talking to somebody. It's like, I know we all kind of want to make the money on the cool stuff, but it seems fairly obvious to me that the base needs to get bigger. And why aren't we talking about that?
So how would you, what, aside from doing educational and going to schools, like, I think that's a great idea. That's definitely a good place to start. How would you get into something like that? Do you just approach the schools? Do you?
So one of the things I did, and was fully accidental. I'll be honest, I didn't reach out to anybody. They came to me. But the way the school idea came in was a middle school teacher who owned a snake came up to me in the show and said, look, I don't have a ton of money, but I do have this set up in my classroom, and here's what I want to do. And they had a female ball python. Now, she was just a pastel. She was about 8 years old. And he said, I want to have in the class throughout the year, teach them about snakes or whatever, and use the ball pythons as a guide, but actually pair them and breed them. And when they lay eggs, because he's not making anything crazy, he got the school permission to send permission slips, and the kids can buy all the babies. Like, he doesn't have to broadcast them, whatever. And they, from the snakes that they watch grow up, that they learn about, that they learn the husbandry for, and they get a snake from the classroom. I'm even fine with that. Like, I don't have to be the one to sell the snake. I just want bodies in this great hobby.
Hell yeah.
Right. Definitely.
And so even getting to the teachers to help teach them, you know, hey, you know, I'll work with you. I'll give you a free snake. I'll give you a free setup. And, you know, if you're willing to learn and teach the kids and have this go through. But I think we have to get inventive. You know, I think there's no wrong way. Well, there's wrong ways to do it, but we got to try a bunch of avenues. Birthday, you know, I know people who do birthday parties and stuff like that. That's a way to get into the kids and the parents and stuff like that. And, you know, this isn't anything new. All the big commercial, all the Fortune 500 companies, when you watch TV advertisements, they target kids, because if you can get your parents to spend the money and it keeps the kid quiet, they'll do it. And I think that's the way we do it. But teaching them right, not just, you know, we've all seen those people who come to shows and I got $40. What can I get? And I start asking, like, do you have an enclosure? Do you have an e-pad? Like,
right.
I'm not going to sell you a snake for $40 and it's going to be in a shoebox. Like, well, what are you doing with it?
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
No, it's not going to work.
A lot of times I'll be like, take your $40, go get the enclosure. Let me know what info, you know, like the hot spot, the cold spot. Let me know, you know, and then I'll give you the snake, you know, because I'd rather it go to a good home.
Yeah, be taken care of.
Bucks, you know.
Yeah.
Emphasis on good home, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. And I've had people, I'm sure we've all done it, selling it. I've had people who made their snakes Instagrams, and literally I'll follow them and they send me updates. And
Right.
I have like 5 people who snakes I've sold them are like the account is an Instagram account for a ball python, which is crazy to me. But
Nice. Yeah, I've seen quite a few of those.
yeah. So
A couple of them.
but I love it. I find it, you know, I'm like, why would you do that? They don't move around that much. Like, you're gonna have a picture of a balled up python, but I never want to dissuade someone's enthusiasm, regardless of why they have it.
Right.
Yeah.
If they want to put little hats on them or whatever, then
Yeah, go for it, man. Go for it.
Some of those.
That's what I'm most excited for. I'm most excited in you know, I'm not saying I'm going to be the next big YouTuber guy. It's not, but I'm excited to help try to bring new people in, young people in.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
And I got plenty of species, so they don't all have to be ball pythons. But, you know.
Right.
That is a good beginner snake, but I mean, some colubrids, maybe not in Florida. Colubrids can be a good beginner snake, at least out here, you know.
You know, we have Florida corn snakes. We have a lot of colubrids that thrive here too.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah. It's just I happen to buy one that is more of a northern species.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I think you know, I actually give it to like Chris on BNS. You mentioned him. Same thing. He has a lot. He's able to promote a lot, and I think what he's doing is good. And it's not to say, you know, that the other guys aren't doing good, but I think we all need to take a little bit, you know, not rededicate or refocus, but figure out how you're going to make your quota, how you're going to bring new people into the hobby, future breeders, you know, future hobbyists. And we all end up winning for that. It expands the hobby.
Definitely.
And it's just one of those help, you know, even in chats and everything, strategies, what's working for you, you know, for those in the chat who are doing stuff where, man, I did this, I posted this, I talked to this group, I talked to these people, you know, I paired with a zoo, like whatever, and then share that information, just like we do with our genes and our pairing and our husbandry. Our sales tactics should be something that we're talking about too, and our, you know, those are things that we got to share.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but yeah, and where I see it going, I think if we don't do this, you know, I think if there's not an emphasis on this, the biggest and not the most immediate risk, but it's the changing of hearts and minds. Like the USARC will have a harder battle, but the more people we can get on our side, the better the laws look, the more practical they are, and the less just knee jerk they become, and it'll grow. But when we don't, we'll go stale. You know, I mean, we don't have that base, we don't have that young people, and we're going to kind of move forward without it growing. And maybe Repticon's enough, and maybe, you know, sites like Morph Market's enough, but I don't want to put all my coins in that and hope that they are.
Right.
You know, and I think COVID all gave us a false sense of kind of the strength of the industry on its own without us having to do our part, without us having to be salespeople as much as breeders. And it sucks. It makes it a lot harder. I say that, you know, I do agree, but I love it. And I don't want this to stop and go away. And I would love to do this full time. And we need more people in the hobby for me to do that. So I'm going to do it.
Yeah, for sure. So you said you're going to start doing more like videos geared towards younger people then?
Yeah, I'm going to, it probably won't be until the beginning of April. And my YouTube channel's still there, but I haven't put a video out in a while. But I recently got the green screen, the mic, the whole setup, the lights. I'm going to set it up back here and learning the software now. I've been through a couple tutorials because I've never had to do this, and then have like the video on the sides and stuff. So the first video is maybe a little bit rough, but as we all know, I just got to start getting them out there.
Yep.
And as I'm learning, they'll get better, and the quality will get better.
Absolutely.
But yeah, getting the whole setup and actually having to maneuver some stuff and do some customization in the house so that it looks semi-professional and it's easy to set up and tear down so that I can make the space multifunctional. But probably in the first week of April, you guys look out for my YouTube stuff, and like I said, I want you guys to, watch it, and people in the chat watch it. That's great, but hopefully share it as much too. It's not going to be that informative to us, but it will be informative to new breeders and people who are new hobbyists. And I just think we need updated videos. I mean, I love the old ones, but it's weird when you open one up and it's 8 years old and no one's done one since.
So is it going to be kind of like you were talking about Chris Hardwick and talking about like going over like 2 gene
slightly a little less aggressive, because if you remember the old Chris Hardwick videos, he had to push a video out every day and he was going over every gene, whether he had the gene or not.
Right.
I kind of want to show off the snake, so I'll at least start with my genes. It won't be every day. It might be once or twice a week, depending. I still have a full-time job. I have, during breeding season, I'll have easily over 300 snakes. And I breed my own rodents. So I'm pretty busy just on that, but I do feel it's important to get these out. So I'm going to put the effort, at least get a video a week out in the beginning. And there'll be kind of gene spotlights, part of my collection, but part of like where they got founded from, what they look like, what are some of the things that you should be looking for in them, how they interact in other genes, kind of teach people what allelic means, how we use in the ball, because we're not the most scientific bunch in the ball python industry. So how we use pet and stuff, and just basic, let's get the fundamentals down. Let's talk terminology. Let's talk basic husbandry, what to do to get your first snake, things like that.
Oh yeah. So if you ever need like more examples of genes or something, I'm sure like us and other breeders would be down to like send you stuff. Like if you just put out the call on like your Instagram page or something, like, hey, I'm going to be doing this gene in 2 weeks. Go ahead and send me.
Which is a good idea. Yeah, I'll start with the more popular because that's what they'll see if they chose.
Yeah,
like, I'm going to start with the pastels and all that stuff, because most likely a new keeper going to a show, no matter where they are in the country, will see the popular genes.
Yep.
And then I'll start doing some of, I think both of us work a lot of lesser known genes. And so I'll start doing those and talking about those. But I got to start with the popular stuff. I want to I want to start early, having the biggest grab.
Definitely. The pieds, the pastels, the lessers, the.
Yeah, just those old tried and true, genes, and
a blue-eyed C1.
Yeah. Pieds, bells, bananas, they still sell at shows. They're not the coolest things to be breeding for breeders, but if you could take a triple visual recessive, whatever, you put it next to a cinnamon Mojave banana, and a person who's never seen a ball python will not care about your triple visual, whatever. They're gonna be like, that banana is the coolest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yep.
And it's the truth.
Still, some of the favorite snakes we have in our collection are bananas. In fact, my favorite snake is a banana clown. So
yeah, see, but I'm just saying, new people, I love it when I have something crazy and they're like, they see a bell, and they're like, oh my god, and I'm like, I get it. If you don't know, if you're just and I love the innocence of that. Look, I don't know monetary value, nothing. I just know it catches my eye. It's always one of those. It's not the Pi DG hypo. It's a banana.
Well, and then if they get a bell too, they also can start learning about complexes at that point.
Yeah.
Because, like, that's what that snake is.
They always think it's an albino.
Right, they do.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know or what leucistic is. We always think of albinism, and even genetics. There's an older, they're a little bit older, but they're still super relevant. And I've been debating whether or not I'm going to do them or just point people to his video. Is Rob Barraclaw. He used to be part of the Four Horsemen.
Yep.
His genetic videos were the most informative videos I'd ever seen.
Very easy to follow.
With the pipe cleaner.
Yeah, with his pipe cleaners. I was like, man, this just makes so much sense.
Yeah.
So I may either remake videos so they're newer, but I may just point them and kind of use. I may reach out to Rob. I know he's not doing it right now. I know he's living with his wife and got somebody watching his collection, but that format is literally what I would follow. I think that those were the best, but I think they helped so much to go on more market and start using the calculator and buying with focus. The other thing I want to try to do is teach new breeders to avoid our mistakes. And I don't know if you guys made the mistakes, but I would say a lot of us COVID guys, man, we were just putting Skittles in our racks.
Oh yeah.
And somebody would ask you a year in, like, oh, what are you breeding? And you'd be like,
ball python.
They're like, so what's your focus? You're like, ball pythons.
Yeah.
All of them, you know, and then you end up selling off large parts of your collection and figuring out what it is you really want to focus on. So
Yep.
hopefully I can get to a couple of people and you know, do the research, look on Morph Market, look at the calculator, see pairings, and you know, maybe you like I'll throw a gene in that the chat had mentioned. Maybe you like tri-stripe, but you don't have the money to go into tri-stripe. Okay, well what does het tri-stripe mean? And what are some of the genes you might want to put in to make really cool, you know, tri-stripes? And how can you get on this on a budget? You know, for the person who's not sure. Because when I came in, and I don't know if it was the same for you guys, I didn't know I wanted to be a breeder. So it wasn't that I didn't have the money to spend. It was I was apprehensive to come in and spend that much on something I wasn't sure I could even succeed at, having no knowledge of it.
Right. I would say we knew we were going to breed coming in, but I was still like, the first $1,000 snake I got, I was like texting back and forth with the guy. You know how you probably dealt with those customers, you know, like,
Yeah, rightfully so.
him, you know, like,
Right.
But that was how it was. And then once I got that one in and then started seeing, like, once we sold our first snakes, that's when I definitely had more confidence. That COVID wave hit, we sold all those snakes. And then I was like, all right, let's get a $5,000 snake now.
Now, out of your first year or whatever, like your first big expansion, how many snakes do you still have?
From our first year?
Well, yeah, whatever that time period was when you hit like a good amount.
Actually, we still do have the super asphalt male that I paid a good amount for, like that first year, and we still use him. He's still a handyman.
I've still got my first snake, not my second, but my third, fourth, and the other one died, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah.
The one from Barnhart.
Right.
Yeah.
She had a cancer.
She had a tumor and
Yeah.
shit. They tried. We actually took her to the vet, and they were gonna try to remove it, but they called me in the middle of the operation. They were like, "We're not gonna be able to do it. You want us to just euthanize her?" And I was like, "Yeah." But
I still have my of my original 12, I still have 5 of them.
Yeah.
And I will say 2 of them for sure will die here.
Fred,
they will live out the rest of their life here.
My very first one ain't going anywhere. I promised her that if she helped us through this and got us going, she'd have no worries the rest of her life. And I mean, shit got crazy.
Single gene Mojave for him, and mine's a single gene yellow belly. It's like the first ball pythons we got.
Yep.
My first was a lesser pastel vanilla Enchi spider. Man.
Damn, bro, 5 gene animal for your first animal?
Yeah. He was, I mean, cheap to me in the time when he was $400 when I bought him in 2019. Actually, as a bait, I'd say up until his first year, he was totally fine. I didn't even know the spiders really had wobbles. And now he corkscrews like a mother. He eats fine. Most people don't, they're not an overly arboreal species, so spiders don't struggle. But once you pick him up, man, he is all over the place. I'll pull him out. His name's Falcor.
All right. Oh, yeah. Falcor. Hell yeah. You're going to make me cry if you got an Atreyu, too.
I almost named one Artex, but then I couldn't do it. It was too sad.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But you see him? He's already kind of starting.
Yeah.
You can see his super sweet, but his vertigo is so bad.
And it was
And I still correct people. A lot of people like, oh, they have a neurological issue, where we know that's been proven. That's just not true.
Right.
It's not a brain thing. It's just an early development thing.
Yep.
But you see him? Yeah, he's all over.
He's having a good time though.
He doesn't know the wiser, but he's awesome. I love him to death.
And he was Enchi, vanilla, spider, and what were the other 2 genes?
He's vanilla, lesser, Enchi, spider, pastel.
Okay, lesser pastel. Gotcha.
He will breed to rope if I let him. Yeah, he gave me his first year. He gave me 4 clutches. Never went off of food. He didn't miss a meal.
Wow. Hell yeah. He's a big boy.
Right?
But beautiful. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah. So that was Miguel's first snake. Or
Yeah,
first ball.
yeah. Well, once I got back in, my first snake was
Gotcha.
a but once I got back in, this was him.
That's dope.
So, other thing I wanted to actually more of a question or discussion. Do you guys think it'll always be ball pythons? Do you think just because of how diverse they are, they're always going to be the most popular, or do you think something else can not even dethrone them, but catch up a little bit?
Maybe 20 years.
What do you think? What do you think it would be?
I think seems like geckos are definitely getting more popular. I see
They
those
are.
more and more. And they got a lot of morphs too.
Prestes are, yeah, I think Prestes and leopards probably have been
Right.
the king of the gecko. I've noticed a drop off in bearded, but I think that's just because the hobby is moving towards space saving, and they require so much space.
Right.
They're awesome. You know, they don't bite. They just kind of hang out and chill. But you got to get like a 60-gallon tank for one.
Right.
You know, so. But no, and I always wondered, you know, they don't have nearly the morphs, and I think babies, you know, the part of the ball python and the gecko and all stuff, are they easy as babies? Because I love children's pythons, but I'm not trying to cut up pinkies and feed them like the firstborn.
Right.
Nope, I ain't trying to do none of that either.
And that's a hard sell to a new pet owner. Oh, you'll love it. So you got to take this rat and cut them up into pieces, and they're looking at you like, what the freak?
Man, if more people raised quails, I could see egg eaters being big.
Yeah, I would get into them if I had real. I can't have, you know, quails. I don't have the space, but I think they're so cool. It's just I don't have a reliable source. And I know, you know, there are people out there who do the injection of egg yolk. And somebody told me that, listen, all you have to do is put the egg in there and crack it, and they'll go slurp on yolk.
Oh, that makes sense.
I've never seen it, but they're so cool.
That makes sense. Oh.
I think ball python definitely got the market pretty much beat right now as far as, you know, how much versatility and colors and patterns, and then how easy they are to keep. And like
maybe if GTPs start coming out with morphs left and right, like,
but those are like they're expensive for one. Like,
yeah, and then like everybody's like, look at mine, and they grab a stand.
Right. Most people handle them. Like,
It takes a long time to unravel them because you don't want to snap their tail, I guess, whatever. I don't know.
So I think as a pet, they're cool. Like, you know, having one or two, I get it.
Right.
But the people who, like, I know someone who's like, oh, I'm getting in and I bought like a whole bunch of babies. And I'm like, oh, what's your sex ratio? And they let me know, like, well, you can't actually check it till like a year old. And I'm like, so what do you mean? Have a bunch? I'm like, so if you bought, you know, 10, what are you gonna do if 8 of them are males? Well, I'm just gonna sell 6 of them or 7 of them, and I gotta go buy more. And I'm like, you know, once you know what the sex of yours is, you're probably not selling it. You know, you need that for a project. So, for a breeder, so the most people aren't selling adults out the woodwork. So people just buy blind. I'm like, that is crazy. I think that'll be its biggest restriction.
That is true. I didn't know that part, right?
I think blood pythons are getting more popular, but I don't think they'll ever come close to like ball pythons. But they're definitely getting popular.
I think they're too big bodied for most people. Not most people, but a lot of people.
Right.
Yeah. I don't think a small woman can handle a blood python by herself.
But I mean, if you watch Juggernaut, she's not very big.
That's true.
But see, a lot of that is confidence. But to the person who's never had a snake coming into a show,
True.
you show them a python, they're like, this is cool. And then you point back, yeah, this is her mom. They're like,
whoa.
like, man, I haven't seen something that thick since college. But no, I think bloods are cool. I think some of the other ones I could see, like, if carpet pythons were a little bit hardier when they were small, I think they would be more popular, but they're just so delicate when they're small.
And it's
I think that's the problem with a lot of snakes. They're just so small.
Right.
Yeah, ball pythons are hardy, man.
They are. Babies.
And they can take neglect.
Right.
I don't mean that in a good way. You shouldn't be doing it, but you can ignore them for like 2 weeks and they'll be a little dehydrated, but they'll be fine. Well, like crested geckos, you can't go on a week vacation with a crested gecko unless you got a sitter.
I was going to say, I have to moisten his enclosure every day. And every other day I got to give him food and water. Definitely a little more work.
Easy, like room temperature and stuff like that. Now, are they room temperature for you, or do you guys have to warm them up?
So I keep the area in my room where my reptiles are a little higher, like about 75 to 80 anyway. So that's probably where he should be. So.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, now, I just keep a space heater in there.
Now, you guys think shows will always be this important, or do you see like Morph Market and these platforms kind of helping broaden people's horizons and kind of limiting the effective shows?
For us, it's always been better for us on Morph Market anyway. We've never really had good luck at shows. We've worked like 3 shows and haven't really sold much at any of them.
I am not convinced by shows. Because I'm not convinced.
So for you think the online, well, does that mean you're only going to be online? So you're not vending shows at all?
We still do shows here and there, but most of our sales are definitely Morph Market and people hitting us up like every once in a while. We'll sell one like through Instagram or something.
Yeah, we actually get a lot of first-time ball python buyers on Morph Market,
and a lot of local people too that'll just be like, "Hey, I saw you were here. You want to meet up with this snake?"
I think a lot of it is because we are on YouTube and stuff, and like whenever people research, that's where they go. That's where I went. Then once you've been doing it for a while, your name starts popping up.
Yeah, I definitely lost momentum, and I actually had a pretty good amount of sales from my YouTube, even though like nothing, crazy, but it was always really cool when someone's like, "Hey, I saw your video and I'm interested." Yeah. You still have the weirdest thing, because I'm in Florida, but the most I've sold 5 snakes to one state, and it was the craziest thing. And I'm thinking it must have been because I said yes to shipping it, but 5 of my snakes went to Alaska, separate times. 5. And I'd be like, "Where are you?" Like, how? I'm like, shipping's like $155, bro.
Probably more than now.
Wow. I don't even shipped one to Alaska.
I don't even want to think of what it would run now.
But I would look, and it would be like, overnight by 10 a.m. Alaska literally tells you like overnight by 6 p.m.
Right.
And I was like, man, but I sold 5, and it was really cool. And in touch with the people, I was more curious, like, how's your husbandry? Because you guys are cold, but Alaska,
yeah,
right.
How dry is it there? I was just so confused. And then one of the weird things with Alaska, I don't know if you guys know, but if you're a rodent breeder, they can only be all white. You cannot have colored rodents in Alaska.
What the hell?
Why?
Yeah, that's a law in Alaska.
That is so weird.
I was like, I think you'd want them to be colored. They won't blend in.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be easier to find in the snow, people.
Unless they aren't going to survive if they get out in the snow or something.
Yeah, it'd be too cold anyway. But yeah, I remember finding that so strange.
That is weird.
Like, Alaska has a lot of eagles. Like, if the rodent stands out better, it's going to get snatched up.
Yeah. Yeah, that's weird, man.
Ironically, eagles, most birds can see in the UV spectrum.
Oh.
So oftentimes when they hunt food, if you ever see an owl or something dive into the snow, it's the urine that they see, not the rodent.
Oh, wow.
We don't see urine, but in ultraviolet you'd see it.
Okay.
That makes sense.
They're watching it pee, and then they dive in that spot.
That's funny.
So I do have a question, and maybe other people on the chat, because I'm not versed. And I've watched you do it before, and I've just never wanted to take over the chat and ask. Can you give me a quick summary of what the hell the races are, and what does it mean, and how does someone join the race?
Okay, so you can join first of all by joining the Patreon.
Well, first of all, you just have to be here, and you
don't have to be in the
videos
Patreon
that we've set up, and you can play along with one racer.
Right. You can get at least one racer in the race because we'll drop a link and tell you to go comment Whiskey Bomb on someone's video, and that's to help their video out.
And then we try to get people to subscribe to their video and leave a thumbs up, and they're getting a comment in there. So hopefully that gets them a little bit more traction,
And then if they join our Patreon, They get an extra racer if they're in the first level, 2 racers for the second, 3 for the third, and 4 for the fourth. And
you guys are entering the rate, like you say, is an entry that you manually enter.
yeah, like I already have a saved list that I can automatically bring up with all the Patreon members, and it's got their names however many times it needs to be for their level, and then I just have to add the people that comment on the videos. And first prize is always like a sponsor, so we always have someone else, a different breeder sponsor first prize, which is $100.
Yeah, we ask for $100. If you want to do more, that's fine.
If you want to do more, that's cool.
Like Freddie's going to try to break it up into multiple shows. I'm just telling you right now.
Right. But like for those that didn't hear, Mike from Banana Bread is doing something for us big in April because 420 is coming up. So he's going to do $100 Banana Bread credit for the first Sunday in April, $300 for the second Sunday, and $500 on 420.
Yeah.
So the winner of the races for that, for whatever week we're doing, gets that prize. So for this week, it's actually Colorado Cold Bloods, I think. Yeah, here it is. Winner of today's races wins $100 credit to Colorado Cold Bloods. Second place gets $50 to us. Third gets $25 to us.
And we never have expiration dates on our credits, and you're more than welcome to build them up.
Yeah, we got like a whole list of people that got credit with us. So it's basically just to it helps other people's channels out. It helps us move more snakes because we're giving credits out for us. It helps other people move their snakes because they're giving credits out, and it helps people save money.
And it helps people's YouTube channels.
Win-win.
Yeah, and it doesn't cost like the people any money out of pocket to sponsor the show.
No, it's just the $100 prize or whatever they want the prize to be, as long as it's at least $100 credit. But and then like we run a whole bunch of races for the first video, and then we'll come back, tell people, okay, now you have to go to this video, leave the whiskey bombs, make sure you throw likes, all that stuff. And then we'll run a bunch of races, and then we'll go to our third and final set of races and tell people, okay, go to this video now. And
oh, hey,
that's cool.
It's Mitzi's birthday. Everybody wish
happy
Mitzi
birthday,
happy
Mitzi!
birthday.
Birthday, Mitzi.
Throw up hearts, everybody. That's what she does.
Right. Throw up the appropriate color heart.
Right.
All of them.
All of them, right? But at the end of the show, we just tally all the points, and then that's how we find out.
Yeah, because we do a bunch of races, and did you already tell them how many points for each?
Oh, no.
It's 5 points if they get first, 3 points for second, and 2 points for third, and then just add everything together.
Yeah, and we keep showing like the list of like where the scores at. And stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what made you guys think of this? It's a cool idea.
Actually, Iron Dog and My Animal House.
Right? Yeah, they used to do races on their channel and give like shirts away,
like
and
shits and giggles.
stickers.
And, they'd give away a sticker pack or something, or a shirt, and like we saw it. And we talked to Iron Dog, and like at the time we were talking to Iron Dog anyway because we were getting him RSO, and we actually helped him with his cancer. Like his cancer was gone after us. So yeah. So we talked to him like, hey man, you mind if we do these races? They're like, please do. So we started doing them a while back, and then we ended up quitting. And then Kia said that he was going to start up a network channel. We're like, hey, we want to be cool kids. We'll start the show back up.
Oh, I misunderstood. She said on 420 it's her birthday.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Well, we will wish you a happy birthday again on 420.
Then.
Worst birthday for sure, because everyone's gonna forget.
Right? Oh, yeah, it was somebody's birthday, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So for the first race, we're gonna do this one. Tell them to go to Balls and Things BBM episode. I'll drop the link in the chat.
Yeah, and then we just sit here and watch for comments and enter people in.
It's so much easier to get people in the race this way than before when I had to actually read the comments, and like,
yeah,
it was so hard to read that many comments.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a cool way to give back. I'll give you that. It's cool.
We try. Man, the community's so great. I mean, we just want to try to help out the community too. And if we can sell some,
wish The only thing I'll say this, it is great, but I wish it was. And now keep in mind, I think every community suffers from this, so I don't know. I don't have a fix, but I wish it was less cliquey. I wish people didn't have to hate on everyone.
Right. I think it's moving. It seems like it's moving more to be more inclusive. It seems like.
I thought so until Morph Market shipping seemed to like part the Red Sea.
Yeah.
And then everybody came out the woodwork pointing at each other. I was like, "What is happening?"
But like we said, we've always done well through Morph Market, so that's always been our baby. Like,
but I get it. If you were in with like Ship Your Reptile or Redline, you're probably not too happy with Morph Market right now. I get it.
Right.
Yeah. But it's one of those where every company that you already shop at uses that same strategy. Like for those people complaining, I'm like, I hope you never walked into a Walmart or a Target. You're getting mad at him for doing the same thing they did.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you like cheap prices, and you might, now, like I said, you can have personal opinions on the owner of Morph Market. You feel a certain way about him, but that doesn't mean that he should not do what's best interest for his business.
Yeah. I mean, Amazon does their own shipping, right?
Yeah. And you know how many small businesses they put out of business?
Oh, yeah.
And the ones that stayed became more competitive and had to get more creative. And you know what I mean? Like,
and you know what
changes the landscape, but you can make it. You just have to adjust.
And you know what's crazy? I still see Amazon trucks everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, they upgraded to electric trucks now.
Yeah, but I tell people like that's cool for the environment, except that not to get like political, but lithium batteries generate a lot of energy.
Absolutely,
and you're saving all this energy, but you literally have a small Brazilian rainforest in the back of your truck. How many trees go into all those boxes? Now maybe it's all recycled. Somebody can correct me. And I love Amazon. I'm saying as a person who shops at Amazon,
right.
Not often, but I do buy some things from Amazon. It's.
There's a person out there that
growing up, most of us never had a life where it's like, oh, I want something. I want it tomorrow. Like,
I want it delivered to my door tomorrow.
Right.
Tomorrow.
What? No, kid, you have to get off your ass and go to the store today if you want it tomorrow.
I still remember being excited that I would buy CDs for $1 and they'd come in like 3 weeks.
Right. Yeah, the dollar CD club. Oh, yeah, I remember that.
There are people watching right now going, what's a CD?
Right. That's scary to think about.
Yeah. There's a lot of things. I was cleaning out a storage system, and some boxes had just kind of stayed with me, and I just hadn't opened up, and it just said electronics, and I got to the bottom of it, and there was a Garmin map thing that you used to put in your car.
One of those.
Oh yeah. Right.
And literally, I was with a younger person, and they're like, "But why didn't you just use your phone?" Like, why would you even have this?
Upload it onto this, you see.
Like, my phone used to be a flip phone, and it just had buttons.
Right.
And there was no internet on my phone.
We could take pictures, but you couldn't tell what it was.
Yeah, we played games. It was called Snake.
Yeah.
That was it. Good old days.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, let me answer my phone here.
Hello.
Hello. Or do you remember this? Hey, call me back after 9. I get 3 minutes.
Right.
3 minutes, dude. That's fucking hilarious.
Or paying. I think I had 500 texts a month. I would owe my company, or I would owe my provider $1,000 this month. Like, we text for granted for now, but I remember having a limit and minutes.
Yep. Absolutely.
Or long distance before cell phones had
landline.
Yeah, like
the world's like stopped. You
$30 for a fucking 20-minute call or something.
Oh yeah, you take that.
No, you could go buy a car. People forget. Remember, you could buy phone cards for long distance, and then you could do 1010 220 or 1010.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about it. I don't think I ever used that stuff though.
I might charged because you didn't rewind the VHS.
Yeah. Please rewind.
Yeah. Or how cool it was to be going to Blockbuster or your local video store. Like Friday night was like awesome. Everybody would be there.
Yeah, in your purple and fuchsia jacket with your fucking hair all up like Vanilla Ice and shit.
Old head alert! Old head alert!
Or let alone if you were walking out of there with the Nintendo Entertainment System that you rented.
Yeah, man.
Couldn't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
That just tells you how smart kids are. Remember having to learn all that stuff, and like I literally watched like my 5-year-old niece start the iPad, log into YouTube, put the video in, search stuff, and I was just like, 5 years old, I didn't know anything electronic. I was literally playing with like G.I. Joes.
Right. And it took me about 5 years once I learned about YouTube how to fucking do it right.
And now you watch a little kid play like Roblox, and you're like, look at his hands right now. This is nuts.
Right.
It's awesome. Pager. Funny story about pagers. Yeah, somebody put their picture. I kept a pager until they called me and said, we no longer offer that service. You have to.
That's great.
Turn your shit in. Catch up with the times.
Hello and welcome to Nextel Sky Pager.
Yeah. I remember getting a page and then I remember it got harder and harder to find a place to call you back because I was relying on payphones and stuff.
Yep.
Now look at us.
Racing
Are they
spiders.
spiders? Is that what the racers are?
Yeah, spiders, yeah.
Scary
that's
spiders.
awesome. That's awesome.
And after this first race, I'm going to run I was going to do it before the race, but I kind of spaced it. But after this race, we will run our other ad.
The sponsors for the network.
Which includes Miguel here.
Yeah.
He's one of our channel sponsors.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to talk about it. One of the reasons why, I guess I'll mention it.
Okay.
Let's watch this first race.
Word.
I like how they jump. It makes you feel like, okay, at any moment, someone could just pull in from the back.
Right.
Oh, and all the actions at the last 5 seconds.
It's never anyone leading like Creative is now. It's going to be someone that comes up from the back. Once in a while, you'll see someone do that where they lead a lot of the race and win.
So top tier Patreon, all that other stuff. What's the maximum number of racers to have?
Sorry, what was that, bro?
What's the maximum number of racers a person could have?
4 with the Patreon and then 1 more for the chat, which should be 5. But what we're going to start doing this week is copying and pasting all of the racers over to the next race so you can actually get extra racers if you're in on all 3 of the sessions.
Right. So like if you had the maximum amount of racers at the end races, the last races, you could have 15.
7.
Oh, it's 7?
Yeah, the 4 from the Patreon plus
I thought you were talking about doubling all of their stuff.
No, it's just the one.
Each race.
Commenting, and it'd be 3 different videos I comment on, so they'll have 7 if you were top tier.
So it's the comment points.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay. Nice. Yeah.
So Robinson, 5 points.
I thought you were tripling it all up.
I mean, that gives them the best odds to win entirely.
So yeah, we're hoping that the people in the highest tiers end up getting like other people's credits and stuff, and that helps them out. And like obviously using our stuff as like a savings account, and that helps them out.
Yeah.
I gotta add.
Yeah, I got two from you guys. I don't know if you remember.
I'm sure we have it written down somewhere.
And one of them, I'm super excited to have him breed.
He's got 2 snakes from us.
Oh, gotcha,
not credits.
Yeah. No.
Credits.
Yeah. I got a banana leopard asphalt phenomaker.
Ooh,
Yep,
nice.
I remember that.
And then special. Oh man, it's a boy, Het Clown. Let me go look. I already forgot. I'll show you the progress.
Be a special cinnamon or a special phantom or something.
Maybe.
Phantom.
Yeah. Hell yeah. That's an allelic animal.
Hell yeah.
Yes, you'll watch that video when I make it, and he'll probably be on there.
Nice.
Talk about a little. Oh, yeah.
Oh, hell yeah. Let me throw in solo real quick.
Good.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Oh, he's looking good.
Probably 900, close to 1,000 now.
Fuck yeah.
Right,
Have you bred him to anything?
He's paired, yes. He's
Hell
got one to Bells, and then I have a Cypress yellow belly head clown female that he will go to.
Fuck yeah.
Very nice.
That's yours, huh?
Hell yeah. Oh shit. I gotta play that out after this race.
I thought we were supposed to do it before the race.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
You think this is bad, chat? Wait till 420.
I can't even blame the green tea because I haven't even really been smoking.
Did you hear him? You think this is bad? Wait till 420. You are not wrong, sir.
Oh, J&S.
Luckily, the people that follow us do know and understand.
Creative on the board with 3. And Jay Slither's on the board with 2.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let me play that commercial and we will be right back after that.
I'm glad you remembered.
I almost, yeah.
The Cocoa Dude offers you 2 different types of substrate for your reptiles. You can go with the black label chipper blocks with thick chunks, or the ready-to-go Cocoa to go. To get this premium cocoa, just visit their website at cocodude.com. Proxima Reptilis is where you should get your first and next reptile. They're a family-owned business dedicated to providing healthy and well-adjusted reptiles. They specialize in ball pythons, domo boas, and BCI to name a few. Make sure to check them out on Instagram and Morph Market. ShedTesting.com is your premier destination for fast, affordable, and reliable shed genetic testing. In addition to genetic testing, they have some beautiful ball pythons on their website, ShedTesting.com. Make sure to use code WhiskeyBomb15 to save 15% off of 2 shed tests. Celtic Balls specializes in premium ball python morphs, including NR Mandarin, Tragic, and more. They also work heavily with blood pythons and boas and have some exciting retics coming soon. Proud distributors of Cocoa to Go and the Chipper, you can catch them at NARBC shows, All American Reptile and Plant Expos, and Show Me Reptile shows. Check them out on Instagram and Morph Market. Perfectly Engineered Reptiles is a proud military veteran with over 10 years of keeping experience. Located in Central Florida, PER specializes in multi-recessive ball pythons, working with VPI, Krypton, untapped genes such as Rainbow and Gorilla, as well as Samboas and local BCIs to name a few. Perfectly Engineered Reptiles is also the Cocoa to Go supplier for Central Florida, and you can find them on Morph Market, YouTube, and Instagram.
Huge shout out and thank you to Keisha with the golden voice, man.
Hell yeah.
Making all this.
I'm waiting for her demo tape. I'm waiting for her to drop an album.
I would say she could do like the books on tape and shit. She could do something like that. Like read books on tape and shit.
ASMR? Is it ASMR?
Oh, right. Yeah,
right.
She could be making videos like that too.
Smoke break. You already know.
But definitely like reading children's books, like perfect voice for it.
Hell yeah, Jared, if you're in Florida, hit this guy up right here.
Yeah, let me know. I mean, we see each other at shows, so yeah, just come bother me, man.
And if you in Colorado, hit us up.
Right.
We can do it cheaper than we've ever been able to do cocoa, which is awesome.
Yeah. Shout out to Chris for that. That's a great thing that he's got going on for us.
Yeah. Yep, I love it, man. I love the deal he worked out. Like, we're basically sponsoring you and Celtic and Coco, and in return, he's giving us super good deal on pallets, so we're able to, in return, sell it cheaper out here. It's a win-win for everyone, man.
Right.
Yeah, and for those in the Central Florida area, I up until now had only been doing Cocoa to Go because I predominantly use Cocoa to Go, but I am gonna have chipper to sell now too. So even I'll have the whole line of cocoa for everyone.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah, and eventually we want to get the cocoa to go too, just so we have both
all the line,
be able to offer.
Definitely.
I like the chunky cocoa to go. The big block. There's 50-pound bags. That's more meant for breeders. Right. The husk is not as, and I don't know how often you guys have to change your substrate. But because it's chunkier, it breaks down slower. It takes longer. What happened?
I had to add someone.
Oh,
I didn't realize there was someone that commented while we were playing the commercials there.
Yeah.
Having the ball pythons. Yeah, reach out to me, man. If you need cocoa or you just want to have snake questions, whatever, let me know.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I like it because I don't have to change it every like 3 or 4 months because it starts off chunky. It doesn't break down that quick.
Right.
It's a little awkward for the baby, so I wouldn't put like newborns on there. But once your snakes get to about 400 or 500 grams, I can put them on like the big stuff.
I personally don't usually use cocoa in anything that's 10 or smaller. We usually just keep all those on paper towels just because they knock the cocoa in their water or shit like that. So it's just like, once they get to a big tub, though, everything's on cocoa.
I got lucky. I got those FB5s with the little deli cup holders. So.
We bought some of those and we looked at them. We're like, nope.
I'm like, they'll outgrow these in 2 weeks. Like, damn near.
I'm hoping I do outgrow, some like the ones I have now are not in FB5s. They're all bigger. But usually, like this year, when you're making your triple hets and stuff like that, I don't imagine you're going to have those babies very long.
Right. The nice thing is if your rack is 3 wide of FB5, you can put 2 FB8s in place of a 3 FB5.
I have one where it's actually the 3 wide, and then you can actually do all the way up to a 23 quart wide if I needed to.
Nice.
Oh yeah. It's nice to have versatility, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, 4-way tie for first. Robinson, Irresistible, J&S, and Having a Ball.
Now, how many do you do? Do you have a number, like these are the amount of races?
Not necessarily a number. It's more of a time kind of thing. I'll do like basically 20 minutes to a half hour for the first set of races, and it's usually like 20-minute to half-hour sessions, and it's 3 sessions. We about like to try to end the show around 4:30, 4:40, just so there's a little bit of time between this show and the next one.
Now, what time is it where you are right now?
It's 3:30 where we're at right now, so about 3:45 I'll change over to the next set of races probably. I'm just making sure nobody else commented. Actually, I need to drop the link in the chat here to make sure if anyone is trying to get in, they can get in. Right. There's the link. If you're watching, you want to be in the race, just follow the link in the chat and leave the comment Whiskey Bomb in the comments to the video it takes you to. And once I see that comment, I'll put you in the race.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channels.
Yeah, make sure you do that too.
Yeah, but for the guys in the chat, some of the stuff that I'll be, if you're interested or you're in the projects that I'm in, I have potentially, so I have 8 girls total. I ultrasound probably 5 of them have a shot at going in the Azantic Desert Ghost project. So I should have plenty of babies for those of you interested in that project. Hopefully I hit a lot of visuals. We'll see. Some of the codoms that I have involved in there, I already mentioned chocolate. I have pastel, fire, HRA, and what's the and GHI.
Dude, those are great ingredients for that project, man.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So have a shot at some of those. I'm in the Gorilla project. The boy's about 350 grams. So maybe closer to the end of the year. Hopefully, we'll see how I do on odds and how many pairings he gets. I'm not going to push him too hard. Congratulations, Jamie.
I got to know what your opinion is. What do you think about the whole gorilla, and is it the same thing as genetic blackback?
So I have heard, and I think he did a video on it about it being similar to HRA. And I'm not going to be. I don't see that at all. Like, I don't see it being even resembling. I would say if somebody said blackhead, I agree that it's similar to blackhead, but I don't see HRA at all.
The blackhead gorilla did look amazing.
It did look really cool, but in some even the other combos, it's almost blackhead-ish. I still think it's a little bit different.
Okay.
Which is why I invested in the gene. But I've never saw the appeal or I've never seen the HRA relation. I don't see it at all. And that's a person who's in HRA. Like, I have a lot of HRA to compare it to, and I don't see it.
Same.
But blackhead, blackhead, I would say, okay, maybe we're talking, like, maybe I'm, but I think even then it probably will turn out to be something kind of like chocolate and Wookiee.
Right.
What up, more Forge?
Just very similar-esque type genes.
But I'm one of those weird people who likes HRA. So, and I'm also into Lori. And for those people who say that Lori and HRA is the same thing, I don't see it. Maybe it's the same gene in a different line, but I have a super Lori and I have a super het red axanthic or a red axanthic, and they don't look anything alike. I can actually, we'll do that as a show too. I'll show right now. Let me get the red axanthic.
Oh, the commercial song. I'm going to start this race because we can always just put him on solo while the race is going.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Then you guys give me your honest opinion. So here is a red axanthic. It's technically het VPI, but that's a red axanthic. Let me put this little thing down. This is a red axanthic. See the side pattern or genetic, whatever you want to call it. Call it whatever gene you want, but this is red axanthic.
Right, but genetic blackback is not that.
But I know there's supposed to be like 5 het red axanthic genes, right?
Right. But I'm not talking.
You might be thinking.
That.
I think green. Is it green pastel? That's the
green pastel. You're right.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's that either. I think, and this is Lori.
Yeah, that definitely looks different. That's like striped and.
Yeah, I mean, this is just a super Lori. That's it.
Oh, that's super though, right?
Yeah, but this is red axanthic, and these are supposed to be the same.
So that's super too. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I would say those are not the same.
No, definitely
red
not.
This is a red axanthic and a super Lori, and they don't look the same to me at all.
No, not at all.
That's crazy.
Okay.
But people say they're the same.
Well, that definitely settles that for me. The supers definitely.
It doesn't appear to be the same to me.
So we got, JNS pulled a fucking first and second. So he got 8 points on top of his already 5. He already up to 13.
Damn.
And having a ball. He's trying to stay in there though. He's up to 9. So we got JNS first, 13, having a ball, second, 9, and Robinson, third, 8.
JNS says, I'm coming in every place but third this time.
That is the advantage of having multiple racers. You can get first, second, and third, theoretically, if you have 3 racers.
Coming in like third place all the time. Now
that
I'm coming in every place but third.
Oh, let me get Jamie in there. Mofo Jamie. Got you. I got your guys' package going out in the mail Tuesday.
Pause.
Oh, whoa.
Box. Pause.
Easy.
Package or box. It's a pause either way.
Smells better than sushi?
Pineapple.
Pineapple.
pizza.
Oh yeah, we appreciate you too.
You know, this view, it looks like you have like 300 erasers.
Right? It does look like a ton. Yeah, we can like, is it 1,000?
1,000, yeah, we can have up to 1,000 now. Like when we used to do this, it was only 100, and now they changed it to where it's 1,000.
Oh, wow.
So that's why I was like, I'm just going to copy and paste these racers over to the next race, and then people can basically add to what they already have. Hey, what up, Don D?
What up, Don?
Hit that link right above your comment and go leave a whiskey bomb, and I'll get you in the next race.
Still anybody's race.
Oh, yeah, we got 2 sets of races after this one. Still a few more races in this one.
Funny watching all the names. Like you said, the last like 5 seconds are really where.
Oh, yeah, that's where the action is.
Yeah. Sometimes we'll change it up and we'll do like a last place race instead. We'll just ignore first, second, third, and we'll go see who's in last and give them first points, second to last, second. Like, maybe we'll do that for the last race here.
I like it.
On a mission,
Morphs.
on a mission from God.
And then Jamie LaSalle. And then Big Sam.
I can hear it playing upstairs. I just heard me go, God.
That's funny.
All right, so yeah, let's do a last place race. So the last 3 spots will actually be first, second, and third.
Yeah.
Let me make sure nobody else commented.
The loser wins again.
Looks like one more we got to add. Uptown. All right, Don D got in there.
Nice.
Now this week, who's the $100? Right, it's 100.
Yeah, 100 to Colorado Cold Bloods this week.
Yep. If you're into
I got to see him the first time. I think he did Kansas City show. I think it was the first time I ever saw him.
Oh, no kidding.
Because I think in all his videos he only shows his hands.
Yeah, he
used to. Yeah,
when we met him, we gave him shit. We got to know him really well, and then they started like now they're both on video and everything. Like they're really.
I watch his videos, and you only ever saw his hands.
Yeah, he actually came on the Colorado Homie episode last week and chatted with us and stuff too. And then we had him on.
No, we're doing last place. I didn't forget JNS.
When did we have him on?
There's still 50 seconds for me to forget it.
Right. When did we have Cold Blooded on?
It was like
3 weeks
about
ago?
a month like a month ago, maybe. Yeah, and Ash jumped on. And
yeah. It was a real good episode.
He's into cool projects. I like this video.
Yeah.
It's been tough. So yeah, with my job and everything going crazy, it was tough for me to stay up to date on like hair downs was almost impossible to join. One of the places I support is Japan, and my calls for Japan are at 10 o'clock at night, so I was working.
Gotcha. Right.
So it's slowing down now, so hopefully I can get back onto social media a little bit more.
Nice. Oh, yeah.
So this all don't matter until who's in the back.
Yeah, I have to remember to do that. So let's go to here. Oh, wait, we have to get rid of the comment first, though. And I don't know how to do that, so I don't want to mess anything up, so I'm just going to wait on Fred.
All right. We're just going to watch Bone Daddy dance while he really just didn't do anything.
Don't forget it's the
Yeah. I didn't forget. All right. Oh, Jay Slithers, last place. So first place for Jay Slithers.
Nice.
And second to last was Proxima. They're on the board with 3.
Proxima Reptiles. Your next reptile.
And All City on the board with 2.
All City. All City. All City.
So we'll do one more last place race, and then we'll send them to a different video. You already know that.
We all know. Cool. I mean, if you're more of a hot dog guy, that's your thing, whatever. But
More of a glizzy gang guy. All right.
That's funny. I literally had people come up from Daytona that I had never met that I guess had joined that live.
All you can eat sushi.
And literally, somebody came up to me. I didn't know them, and all they knew was like, "Hey, that's the sushi guy." And I was kind of like, "Oh, that's not how I want to be known." I'd like to be known for snakes.
Oh shit! That's great.
But yeah, so that's my. For those of you who don't know, my vice is bourbon. I love bourbon and whiskey and rye. And that particular day before Daytona, I had a little too much.
You got a favorite bourbon?
So my favorite of the family would be actually an Irish whiskey called Glenfiddich, 18-year-old aged Glenfiddich.
That's I think my dad's favorite too.
Yeah, so it's there is a 21, but I don't like it. I don't like it that much. I'm more of a the 18 has like an apple crisp, where the 21 is blackberries, and it gives a little more tartness. So I like the finish of the apples. But if I was drinking like an American, like bourbon, if I'm drinking old fashioned, my favorite in the old fashioned would probably be Angel's Envy. If I'm on a budget or we're like an Applebee's or something where they make cheap old fashions, I'll just usually have Maker's Mark.
Okay. Yeah, Maker's Mark.
Yeah. And even Four Roses, but on the bougier side, I'd say something like Whistle Pig is actually really good. Wild Turkey makes one called, I can't remember which one. It's not Wild Turkey, but they make one. I can't remember off the top of my head, but they make good. I drink a lot of them, obviously. Basil Hayden's good. And it depends if I'm smoking a cigar or not as to what I pair with, since that matters.
There you go.
So that was the last place race. So it was Damballa in first, Selective Creations in second, and J&S in third. We got, after the first round of races, J&S is first with 15.
Bam.
And Having a Ball is, or no, wait. Was it Having a Ball second with 9?
Boom.
And then Robinson and Jamie LaSalle tied in third with 8.
Bang, bing.
Bang, bing. Let me get rid of this race. Oh, wait. Let me go and copy and paste and do that.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
See if it'll let me do that. I don't see why it wouldn't.
This last word.
Yeah.
Did you misspell Keys? Why are he making fun of you?
I don't know. Oh shit, I never brought up the third race. What was the third race? It was camels, spiders, turkeys. Right? Okay. There we go. The Thanksgiving turkey timer. Sure, why not?
Oh yeah, and if you're on Patreon, you also get to choose what races.
Oh, okay. Now, do you guys have like Patreon specific videos you also do over there?
Not yet, but yeah, it might be something we start doing.
That was scarily timed out.
Right. All right, it let me do it. Hell yeah.
But like they do get first dibs on like the clutches and stuff.
Yeah, so that's gonna be nice.
Oh, so you do clutch reveals there first, and then
not reveals, but they definitely get
first dibs though, yeah. So a lot of times they'll know about what we have before the video even comes out.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, now I can get rid of this.
And then.
Now I can't. I'll be honest. Your incubator looks really cool, but I couldn't do it. Dude, when I have eggs in the incubator, I just want to look at the eggs. And
right. Oh, we still can. There's areas we can peek in.
Yeah.
I am so afraid of moving out of this place though, and having to move that thing though, because it is so god awful heavy.
It is ridiculously heavy. It actually comes from Red Rocks, the big amphitheater here in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool. It was in the
Is that the place where Bill Burr did his special?
I think so.
Probably. It's
outdoor amphitheater thing.
Yeah, with rocks in the background and stuff.
Yeah.
Dude, that place is fucking magical. I've hiked all around that area, like tons of places you're not supposed to hike. Like all I had to hear back in the day is that Pantera used to hike those mountains, and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm hiking those mountains.
Now, you go by yourself or you went with people?
It was like fucking 5 or 6 of us that would go out and just go way back in the hills and just smoke and smoke and smoke.
There's ways you can like sneak up in those rocks too and hide out.
Yeah.
Like if you get there the day before a concert, you can actually hide out up in there and shit, and like watch the show for free and shit.
If you're looking at the rocks, the rock that's on the left has a cave system in it. It goes all the way up to the top. Or you can hike around and do like a whole bunch of sketchy shit where you like grab the rocks and then have to like pull yourself up and shit, and like
sketchy shit sounds fun.
Oh, it was crazy. So you get to the
sounds like a young man's game.
Yeah. So whenever you get to the top of that rock, they have Stairway to Heaven, and it's an actual stairway that's carved into the top of that rock. It just goes up and over the edge. It's fucking crazy.
Who put that there?
I don't know.
I'm always amazed when you see crazy bridges. Oh, it's this bridge going over this creek, whatever. I'm like, it's cool that you walked it, but who is the crazy son of a bitch that built it?
Well, it's like that whole rock is just sandstone, so they just carved the rock until it was a staircase.
Yeah.
Known as the Stairway to Heaven. It's fucking cool though. I've spent so much time at Red Rocks.
Now, your whole life you've been in Colorado?
Not my whole life. Used to live in like Kansas, Nebraska, Wyoming, Texas, Arizona. But like I always came back to Colorado. And then like one day I just decided, fuck it, I ain't leaving no more.
Yeah. That's Florida for me. I was born and raised in New York, but moved to Florida when I was in my teens with my parents. And then after I became an adult, I would leave, but I always found my way back and leave and come back. And it always felt like home. So I finally came back one time and I knew, like, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah, the mountains have got me. That's all there is to it.
The cold places are tough for me because I've had some injuries. I was an adventurous young man.
Oh yeah.
Fell off the side of a mountain. This shoulder is mostly fake.
Oh shit!
It's a bunch of porcelain anchors and titanium screws that in cold weather just really, really, really hurt.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, I've broken all my fingers except my thumbs. I've never broken a thumb, but I've broken this middle finger 3 times. Broken all these. Split my kneecap. Broke my collarbone. I have 80 stitches just in my head, not my whole body, just my head.
Damn.
Ripped my calf off of off the ligaments. Yeah, a lot of lacerations, staples, braces. I was hard-headed. Didn't want to learn.
I understand that one, sir.
And all that has resulted in my old age that if I'm going someplace cold, I have to like live on Motrin, and my body just hurts because of all the pieces in it.
Yeah, like I've always done. Like I was a mover, and like we would have to do like 3 fucking moves a day, which is ridiculous. And then like good trees and stuff is literally put this big ass tree on this fucking truck, and fucking just all the stupid grunt work, and like my body hates me now.
Yeah, it was mostly football. So I played a lot of football as a young man. I fought a lot. I was pretty good at fighting, so I was never afraid of it. Didn't mean I was getting hurt, but got falling off the thing, like I said, mountain trails, hiking, whatever. I rappelled, did a bunch of stuff, and it just led to me giving myself a lot of injuries.
Yeah, I wasn't good with drinking, so I did a lot of bar fighting and a lot of falling off of trails and
yeah.
You ever
These days I'm a lot more low key. Oh, I didn't say that, Mission Morris. I did not say that. They, a lot of my injuries came from the Marine Corps. My fault still, or the result of being there during the time in the early 2000s. So, but and I'm still here, still going, still doing good, still work out regularly and try to keep myself in decent shape. But
hell yeah. Yeah, we used to go to this one bar so often that we were like the unofficial enforcers of the bar. Like there would be like 6 of us go there. We'd all get like fucking basically blackout drunk every fucking night. And then like we'd get our bill and it was like $20. So we'd always like tip the waitress like $100 and shit. And like
yeah, I bartended for a while, and that was fun. But
I decided to put music on. That was weird.
it was fucking always
like
cool.
having a ball, just like you needed to get him tested. He's on steroids.
Right?
Something happened. That race was quick.
Yeah, it
I'm gonna have to look at
That
the
was a
time.
100-meter dash.
Right.
Doing his best.
That still counts, I guess. All right, having a ball. You're up to 14. Kevin Brown. I think you're on the board now with 3. And CKP Chase. I believe he is the guest next week.
He was in 5th. He was close to having like 2 spots.
Damn, right? That's always nice when you can get like 1st and 2nd or 1st and 3rd or something.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I got it set to 10 seconds for some reason. All right.
100-meter dashes. Let's just knock this out.
Right.
We can run 700 of them this way.
In first place with 98 points.
Right.
Damn, Josh did a line to beat everyone to the line. Oh, shit. Did you comment, Keys? I'm sorry. I'll go look. Sorry. My bad.
I spelled it wrong, Keys. Now I got a question for you because I may be interested. I might have to join the Patreon just to have a shot at it.
Oh yeah.
What's your most exciting shredder pairing this year?
We're putting. Are we gonna?
Yeah.
So yeah, we're putting the Stranger Coral Glow Leopard Clown female maker boy to the female's asphalt shredder.
Oh wow.
Well, she's supposed to be asphalt shredder.
Yeah.
But we paired her with a super asphalt, got 9 eggs, and didn't see 1 super asphalt. So we either missed odds real bad or she's not asphalt.
I kind of think she's not asphalt.
Right.
So
I think
just shredder, or is it like something else?
Kind of thinking it's just shredder.
It's definitely a dark.
We can grab it. Yeah, we can grab her and show you. She didn't eat or nothing last night.
Wait, have a single gene shredder to compare this possible shredder asphalt to?
Okay. Well, we have shredder asphalts for sure that are. That's the shredder asphalt you're grabbing there, right? Yeah. Okay.
Or
this is a guaranteed one, or this is the one in question?
This is the one that came from super asphalt to the shredder girl, and we can tell it's shredder.
Yeah.
Here, let me put this on solo here.
So that one is asphalt shredder.
For sure, yeah.
And then I can show you the single gene or possible asphalt shredder, but just didn't prove for us the first time.
Yeah. Okay. So I see the. Yeah.
Yeah, Brittany in first on the board 5. Oh, Irresistible up to 8. J and S up to 17. I think J and S is in first with 17, and then Having a Ball 14. And I think looks like Robinson, Irresistible, and Jamie LaSalle all tied at 8 for third. Oh, I
Yep.
need to get
A four-way tie for 8.
I think it's 3. Yeah.
So this is that girl's mom.
I got it. Yeah. So that's wow. Yeah, that one. Oh.
I mean, it looks a lot like the baby, so I mean, we could have just missed, but
But the shredder is like really pronounced in that one.
right.
Yeah. And she's super
Still,
dark.
still a
too.
good, very representation of the gene.
Yeah, and she's for sure going to that that male we were talking about.
Yeah, we were kind of thinking of messing with dinker stuff with it because we got other granity type dinker stuff. We were thinking it'd be cool with her, but then once we found out Rice Reptiles pulled all their clown shredder stuff off the market, we were like, oh, okay. Let's see what Stranger Clown does to it.
Right. Let's throw the
Oh,
big.
I didn't know they pulled it off. Oh.
Yeah, they hit they or Justin hit something
Somebody
really
hit something
good,
and they don't have it on market.
yeah, they everything. So obviously something's happening.
Yeah. That's a strategic part of breeding. See, that's a let's get on that train and see where this goes.
Right. Or Forge J.
I don't know if I envy Justin because to be in a position to do that, if Justin all of a sudden makes a video going Shredder's the new hotness, it's elevated your collection. He literally has the power to help make breeders, and that can be a tough spot to be in. It's exciting, but you think about it, and it's like, how often is he barraged with phony friends? People who want to be his friends for the simple reason that he's Justin Kabelka.
Right. He's probably.
I don't know if I want that.
I would say he's probably more likely to be friends with someone that comes in talking shit to him just because he's like, hey, at least I know this guy's for real,
Yeah, it's not a spot that I envy.
Yeah.
But
I know.
I mean,
Talk to me because they like me, because I don't have shit that would make you just want to be my friend. Cause
yeah,
that's why he's got a Patreon, though. And there's a lot of people that are in that Patreon, and they all get like first dibs on his stuff. And I don't know if the Patreon.
And I think his top tier is $250 a month, right, or some crazy something.
Yeah,
like that.
crazy.
no clue.
But I know he does giveaways too for like stuff like that too. So I mean,
Yeah, I got I'm not on anyone's Patreon anymore, but I joined Billy from Mutation Creation,
yeah, we were on there for a while.
and I literally won an ARS rack from that.
Damn, hell yeah.
One you see there is from Mutation Creation. That was from Billy.
Did you have to like at least pay shipping?
No, he covered the entire cost.
That's
Damn.
fucking awesome, man.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
where he figured like the expensive part is of giving something like that away. Like,
Right.
Yeah, he literally just said, call him up, let him know who you are. I sent the names and tell him what you. What's funny is I didn't even know I'd won it. I was working, and I kept getting these messages on Instagram. Congratulations, I'm like, what the hell? And they're like, dude, go back and watch this video. And he did it. He did 2 giveaways, and it was me and someone else, whatever. And I was like, holy crap! So, and that was still. I would say I'm not on anyone's because I feel like you hit a natural point where I learned as much as I could from. Like Billy's, and then my projects really didn't align with his anymore. So it wasn't like I was looking to buy his snakes.
Right.
And but I would recommend, I still think he was like early on. I learned a lot from Mutation Creation from Austin and Billy and those guys, and it was super helpful. Now I don't have the time. The problem with the Patreon thing for me now is with work. I was like, I barely watch videos now. Between the rat cleaning. When you're busy like me, if you're gonna have to sacrifice something, social media is the easiest because it can't be the animals.
right.
And when you're working 55, there were plenty of days I tell people like, I know I love this because when it's Wednesday, 11 o'clock at night, and I'm in the rat shed, that can only be love.
Exactly. You don't do that for shits and giggle.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so his was cool. I always hear a lot of good thing about Will Morose's. I heard his is really good.
Okay.
I might have to check yours out just so I can try to jump on that shredder bandwagon.
$4.20, brother, is the cheapest tier. So I mean, and it gets
The
saved.
cheapest tier is free.
Well, yeah, but you don't get the credit. You don't get like the
You don't
extra
get
racer
anything.
if you're in the free.
You get in what you put out for free.
Yeah. Big Sam up to 7.
Nice.
Ooh, Stan, you're on the board.
Nice. Sea of Serpents.
And JG on the board.
Hell yeah.
Haven't seen JG in a minute. Hope he's doing good.
Right.
Now, for people like me who want to do this full time, and for cats like you who are, what's the most underrated piece of advice you give? Not the most common stuff that everyone says, but what is something that like
Rodents.
I was just gonna say rodents is if you want to take on more than 50 snakes and you're not even 20, honestly. I mean, fuck. You're taking on more than 20 snakes, you should be breeding your own rodents, I think.
And I think that you should be breeding for other people too, because like a lot of the people we sell rodents to, we sell snakes to.
Right, that too. And if you're selling rodents, it pays for the rodent food, and then you're feeding your rodents and your snakes for free.
Let alone if you're making money off of the rodents and the food is free, and then the rats are free.
Jared's doing rodents as we speak.
Yeah.
I literally sell to a guy in Lakeland. I sold him like 3 snakes.
Yeah.
But only one of them was for him. He literally brings people to the shows and will buy them a snake. He'll tell them like, oh, $50 or less or $80. Usually it's not been the same, but he'll basically go pick a snake out $100 or less, and I'll get it for you, and I'll help you get your enclosure. We're gonna do everything right. And he said the only reason I do that is because you got to feed a snake, and they come to me for the food. So I'll spend $80, but after 2 years, I've made my money back, and they're paying me.
Yeah, we give away a lot of snakes. It helps.
Yep, JNS, you can sell a snake once, but you sell food to a snake 100 times.
Yep.
Or more.
More, yeah.
Let alone the snakes that you buy, you have to feed that many times or more.
And I mean, it's not like I generally, the people that do buy rodents from us, they're getting better deals on their rodents than if they went to if they went to a store or whatever. So
that's crazy, those prices.
Dude, yeah, they charge like $7-8 for a live medium out here.
Yeah.
Remember during COVID when it was like really crazy?
Yeah.
I wish I would have been rats then for people, man.
I remember hearing like $12 to $15 for a medium.
Wow, that's crazy, bro.
Well, most people don't know, but we use rats to test out our medical stuff.
Yeah.
Everybody was racing to find a vaccine. They were literally shopping around to get rodents. So.
I didn't think about that aspect.
That's true, right?
It was competition. It was literally like, well, I could sell my rodents to you, but the pharmaceutical company who's getting grants from the government says they'll give me $8 a rat. You're like, well, yeah, I'm not gonna buy you. Why would I sell to you? $6 for a small. Is that good? I don't know. Is that I haven't bought rodents from a store in forever. So $6 for a small.
That's
crazy for a store.
That's probably what they go for around here,
Yeah,
but
that's crazy.
I would say if you get other areas, they got to be cheaper because I mean our cost of living in general is pretty high around the Denver area anyway. So
I've heard somebody saying that the only place that's more expensive is New York right now.
Wow. I know people like around
San Francisco was the most expensive place to live, but crime is kind of taking over and they're dropping.
Like Tyler's Toxic Balls was saying he couldn't get rid of his rats, and he was selling them for like $2-3 a piece and shit. So I mean, there is places where they still get oversaturated apparently.
Yeah. Colorado ain't one though.
Yeah, he says $6 for a small.
So are you guys trying to expand, or you think you're as big as you're going to be for your rodent?
This is as big as we're going to be. Yeah, we're actually trying to get smaller with the snakes. We want probably
around 150.
Yeah. Like half of what we got basically, and just the right stuff,
Exactly.
Oh shit, wrong one.
But rodent wise, would you grow, or you think you're as big as you're going to be?
I mean, if I did, it would have to be in a partnership with someone and going in on a warehouse type thing, and then hiring employees and shit like that. That'd be the only way.
Into the overhead, though. Yeah, you might not make more money.
I'm maxed out on space where we're at right now. I literally have every room that was available in the basement have rodents, and then my glass room that was upstairs is a rodent room now. So
yeah, it's basically a 1,000 head of pinky every fucking week.
About 500 to 1,000 range, depending.
Every week.
Yeah.
Wow. That's money in rodents.
Oh yeah, steady money.
Now I've seen it, but I don't know anyone. And you feel free if you don't want to answer, don't answer. And I've heard that some of the big guys, some of the big rodent producers, so to speak, wish it. They get China rats because you can get them so cheap. Do you know? Have you ever heard that?
No, I've heard about what you're talking about though, and seen like the pictures of people getting shit like that, like, and they look all like skinny and fucking underweight and shit. Like,
yeah, I was curious to look it up. People say that. I always look it up. You can. I mean, I've literally seen it where you're getting them for cents on the dollar.
That's crazy.
And I wonder how they make money shipping container.
I don't even.
I can only imagine how those rats smell.
Ugh.
Yeah, I don't know, but
J&S away with this. J&S is up to 26 points, and I don't think anyone else has even hit 20 yet.
We deal with a couple of like more bougie type breeders, and they're always so glad that our rats don't stink.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I know a guy here local in Florida over by like the Naples area, a little south of Naples. And I remember he wanted some tubs from mine, but he came over and he was like bleaching. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I sell to the labs, and showed me his rat room. It was the nicest rat room I'd ever seen. But he's like, the amount of work that I have to do to keep up with this and like keep it clean, and because they have to come inspect it and be happy. But he's selling them for like $10 a piece because they're lab quality, like medical, like there's no genetic defects. He has to get them like weird tested and stuff. But I was like, yeah, I thought I was doing good, but I don't do any of that. I'm not scrubbing racks every other week and stuff like that. But it's just interesting. I get mine. I don't know if you guys do anything special for yours, but I found that after litters and the rats seem to perform better as breeders with like more fat instead of protein. Like I still give them their protein and stuff, but avocados have been like a godsend. It's a little expensive, but they can love avocados.
Okay. I've been doing a lot more black oil sunflower seeds because they got a good amount of fat content, and it's good fat.
Yeah, I still do that too, yeah. But I did the avocados, and I'm averaging 13 a litter.
Just like throwing, like what, you just throw like do you put the skin in?
They'll put a hole in it. They'll put a hole in it and eat it.
Wow.
And then somebody told me, but I could not find evidence that the pit was bad for them. But I find that they actually chew it, and it helps keep their teeth under control.
Yeah, I was just saying, it seems like to chew
they don't eat it. They chew it and spit it out.
Okay.
You just end up with like seed debris everywhere.
Right, like a wood block or something like.
Yeah, just like that.
Ooh, more Ford.
We got a little cold, and I noticed my production had dipped, and now I think I'm averaging. I try to keep track. It's a little tough, but like 12, 13 a litter, where before it was like 8.
Wow.
And the only real change was the fat.
8 to 13, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, and I also learned I had to change them earlier because I thought, as long as they're living, they'll breed.
You gotta
drop off dramatically, but they could live like another 2 months. And you go in there, you'd be like, I'm pretty sure one of y'all ain't even producing at this point, and I wouldn't know who it was because I don't do maternity bins. So I've learned that like my ASFs, I cycle like every 7 months, and my rats, I cycle like every 9 months.
Yeah, about 6 months is what I do for my regular rats. My ASFs and mice just kind of they just kind of work themselves out because I just get so many. And so I'm just like constantly taking the biggest ones out.
Yeah, the ASFs are easy though, because even if you let them select to get to old age, they start getting warts. So as soon as you when to pull them.
Absolutely, yeah.
They really give you a physical sign of like tapping out, I'm done.
Dude, I can't remember the last time I saw an ASF with warts. That's how, and I'm overstocked right now, so it's probably going to start happening soon. Actually,
we've been feeding a lot of ASFs to our collection.
Yeah, I've been trying to, because they haven't been selling lately. That's for sure. I'm trying to switch more over to mice because it seems like the mice sell a little better and they obviously produce quicker.
Mm-hmm.
I can have mice.
Yeah, I think they sell, at least for me, in the local Florida market because they're cheaper than ASFs. ASFs are the most expensive of the three.
Yeah, you have to charge more because they take twice as long.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll say I did an experiment when I first got in, and those of you on my YouTube channel, I think I talked about it and I documented everything. The engineer in me had to be like very analytical.
Hell yeah.
And I stopped after 7 months because I figured I had enough data and it was just taking too much time. It was hard for me to keep up, and I didn't want to corrupt the data sample.
Right.
But I'm trying to remember the numbers. But I think I noticed on average a rat was about 33% bigger than the ASF when I was feeding. And I kept a certain group only on ASF and a certain group only on rats. And at the end of 7 months, the rat group was only 13% heavier. So despite the fact that they were getting a third more in grams, they were only slightly over 10% bigger.
Wow.
So the ASFs definitely, from a nutritional standpoint, were doing something for the snakes. But I can't justify if that means because their slow growth rate. We'd need more ASF colonies for the same amount of feeding. But they definitely seem to be more calorie dense or nutritious in some aspect of ball python.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, that math pretty well shows it.
Yeah, it was like on average, I would give it like a 90 gram. I was trying to get them to be like 80 to 90 grams, the rats, but the ASFs at the time would be like 62 to 65 ish or whatever. But the weight difference wasn't that much. The weight difference was just over 10%.
That's crazy. Definitely.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, it definitely shows that different food reacts different ways.
But like I said, the side of that I didn't do, and that's why I wasn't a total, was that I didn't do it like through a life to see if they breed faster and like that. And you have to include the turnaround time for how quickly the mice or the rats grow. Where I would have needed more space, more colonies, and more female production to keep the ASF numbers, to keep them at the 60 gram mark. Because where it takes an ASF to get to 60 grams, the rat would be 120, 125. They grow much faster. But if you had the space, you could definitely keep a collection on ASFs. Just fine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
My apologies, everyone. I did not copy and paste the contestants, so it's just the Patreon in there now, and whoever comments. Sorry.
Oh.
I'll try.
Yeah. ASFs, I think, eat less and drink less water. Like I said, it's not a 1-for-1. You need more ASFs than rats. So 1-for-1, I would agree. But in totality, I don't know if it's that much less.
Gotcha.
Answering James Perry. I saw his comment. Figured I'd throw an answer.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Yeah, speaking of James Perry, he's in first with 26 points. And then we got like having a ball with 14, and then Big Sam with 12.
Nice.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Having a ball 14 is in second, and then Jay Slithers is in third with 13. And then Big Sam's in fourth with 12.
Gotcha.
We get this long list. Sometimes the numbers just blend together.
Right.
Selective, Proxima, and Robinson. Racing Camels.
You ever seen a camel up close?
Just at the zoo.
I remember thinking in my mind, I thought they were the same size as horses.
They're huge.
And then I saw one, and I was like, that thing would kick a horse's ass.
Oh yeah. So fucking I actually got way too close to a moose by accident once. Those bastards are huge.
Yeah, ginormous. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
scary too.
Fred's got a trailer up on a mountain lake. Like his family's got it up there and shit. And, like I was standing in front of the trailer fucking smoking a cigarette back when I used to smoke cigarettes. And like it was kind of raining and shit, so I was kind of like tucked under the awning a little bit. And I heard what sounded like a car coming up the dirt driveway. I look over and it's a fucking moose. I stand there and it walks by me and I'm like 10 foot away from it. And it just walked right by me. And like once it got far enough away, I ran inside and I'm like, dude, there's a fucking moose right outside. Oh my God.
That's big.
I was like, I couldn't have moved if I wanted to.
I saw a video, I think, where they actually showed one chasing a bear, like a bull moose.
Man.
Chasing a bear. That's how he was big enough to scare the bear.
Yeah, they are huge bastards. Yeah, way too close. And like luckily, like it was all it's doing. I didn't tread by it or anything, like, and I sure as fuck wasn't just standing there.
Yeah, the camel, I think I was shocked just by how big its head was. Like I remember we could feed it apples, and I remember realizing like the whole apple would go in its mouth effortlessly. Like it wasn't even like, oh, this is a big apple. Like
right.
Like giving it a grape.
Right, exactly. The end of the nose is like as big as your head, basically.
Yeah, like holy cow, like this thing was huge.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I got to feed a giraffe once too. Those things are fucking crazy huge. Like it was at a zoo somewhere, and like we were handing them leaves, and they would just wrap their tongue around the leaf and shit. And it like wasn't wet or nasty or anything. It would just whoop, and grab it, and that was it.
That's an interesting animal.
Huge tall. Yeah.
Sitting there, somebody had 4. It looked like somebody had 4 in there. Does anybody have 5 right now?
Yeah, JNS has 5 because if Irresistible commented, they would have 5. I think those are my 2 top tiers.
Yeah, it's all a savings account too, though. So if you're planning on getting something from us, it's where it's at. That's for sure.
And if you live local and you get cocoa or rats, you can use it towards cocoa and rats. So keep that in mind. Jay Slither's in there.
Now, what's the show after this?
Breeding for the Future.
Yeah.
And that's at what time? You're Central? Mountain?
7 o'clock Eastern time. So 5 o'clock. Yeah, like it's a half hour after we end, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, we're mountain time.
Mountain. Okay.
The time no one cares about.
Right. We're the redheaded stepchild. Nobody says shit about mountain.
Right.
You never see it really, right? I have seen CST.
Right.
Yep.
You hear Pacific.
CST, obviously EST. Yeah.
Yep.
I have no idea. What the hell time is Hawaii?
They're like 3-4 hours
But
before
you even know what it is? Like your mountain time, California Pacific time, the actual island in the Pacific. What is that?
It's probably Hawaii time or
Island
something.
time?
Island time. I don't know.
See, that's the redheaded stepchild. That's a state. We have no clue what fucking time it is.
Right.
Alaska's got to be farther out too, I would think.
Right.
Oh, keep in mind that the time zones aren't really that. If you're standing in the North Pole, what time is it?
True. Yeah, that's true because it's
Exactly.
yeah.
It doesn't.
The more you go, the closer they get to each other.
I'm gonna face this way. It's 3 a.m. I'm gonna face this way. It's 12 at night. I'm gonna face this way.
Yeah.
Keep moving where it's fucking 420. So you just all the way 420 always.
That's in my mind. You're just staring at Willie Nelson the whole time.
I love it. Hell yeah.
If anybody knows what time it is in Hawaii, what is it? What is it? What is Hawaii time called?
Yeah, what is it? I'm curious now too.
Is that really what it's called? Aleutian? Is that how you say that?
Wait, it's only an hour difference between. Josh is saying it's only an hour difference between Cali and Hawaii and Alaska.
I want to say that I've heard Aleutian too.
Really? Only 4 hours? I thought it'd be more.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Especially for Hawaii, because it seems like they're kind of far out there.
Yeah.
They're like, it's part of America, though. We can't make it too far behind.
Close. I'd love to live there, but it's so expensive.
Yeah.
And no snakes.
Right?
Yeah. It's like, I'll take a gallon of milk. That'd be $9. Like, oh, never mind.
Keys, you won!
You won, Keys!
Just this race.
Yeah, not the whole thing. How many you got left?
We'll probably do about 5 more races and then call it a day. Well, no, we'll probably do like 6 or 7 because we did just start these. Go to like 440 roughly. Oops, I added too many to Jamie's. She should only have 10. Icky, yep, 5. Okay. All right. Let's see if anyone else commented.
That's crazy. I've flown to Japan and it's 13 hours, and somehow Hawaii is only an hour difference than California.
Right?
That doesn't even make sense to me either.
I'm like, what? That is the longest flight when you're going from US to Japan. Oh, I hate it.
Yeah, he's at 12:25 there right now. That's funny.
Wow. That's nuts.
I still want to. I've never been to Alaska. I'm not excited for the cold.
Yeah.
But I want to go. What's that most northern town where they have 30 days of night and they also have the 30 days of constant sun?
Right.
Yeah, I don't remember the name of it either, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. That would be crazy. I don't think
I'd be better with the night. The sun would be hard.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
We can simulate sunlight. We can put lights on, but how do you simulate? You just gotta close yourself into a dark room, like
right. Just go out there for the dark time.
Have a bar with spray.
Party the whole time. It's always nighttime. It's always party time.
But like, imagine waking up and it's pitch black. You know what I mean? Like, your senses. We take it for granted that, like, you know, we're used to the sun until you don't have it.
Right. Yeah. I don't think I would fare well with that.
Yeah. I could do like 10 days of night, and then I'd be like, I gotta get the fuck out of here. This is too much.
Right. This is too much partying.
My liver can't take this.
Right.
We got J&S still in first with 26. Do we even have anyone with 20 behind him? Let's see. It's I think 16 is next, which is Having a Ball. And I think it's still Jay Slithers with 13 in third. Oh, yeah. 13 in third.
And remember, everybody, if it sounds like we show our Patreons favor in these races, you're damn right.
I don't know. Jay Slithers isn't in the Patreon, and he's in third.
He's not, right? That just shows that it is.
Hey, you can tell people you can buy better odds.
Right? You can buy better odds.
But if you don't, you can still get good odds too. So
Exactly. Like on a lot of the giveaways and stuff that, like, you'll see them on YouTube every once in a while where, like, they'll be like, buy the merch and every dollar is a fucking entry, blah, blah, blah. A lot of times.
oh, Irresistible trying to come back.
Damn.
They're at 13.
Yeah. Simply irresistible.
Jamie's up to 13.
Ooh. Jameis
having a ball up to 18. He's trying to get up over 20 and trying to catch up to JNS.
Damn. Yeah, so what made you ask about Shredder? I figured that you had known about that whole situation.
About what?
Gotta be a little closer.
I said, what made you ask about Shredder? I figured that you had already known about that whole situation.
I had seen it, on Morph Market a little bit, but I never really got crazy into it. And it was actually through you guys that I was like, oh, that looks really cool. And it not the same. I don't think it's the same, but it looks similar to a gene that I have that I'm working with. Different, but the same. Like I think it's a granite gene.
Nice.
Atari or Hitari, depending on
Yeah. That stuff's cool.
And they think that might be the same as Nanny, I thought.
I mean, I can show it. You can see it, but I don't know. Is Nanny that granity?
If by itself it is, but then
I have a single gene. I'll show you a single gene.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we do too. Stuff. I think that's going to be the future of the hobby in a way. Like, dinkers and granite
in it. Yeah, for sure.
Because it does crazy shit in clown too a lot of times. Right. Ooh, CKP got first and third.
Ooh, nice.
That's this is a pretty good example of single gene Hitari.
Hold on just a sec.
Good. And it's got some similarities, I think, to the Shredder.
Okay, see, I don't know. That does look different than the Nanny to me.
Can I see the back of the head neck area? Yeah, it doesn't have the same blushing area as Nanny. Like with Nanny, like pretty much where the eyes are from the back and into the neck, it does like a lot of blushing. I don't think it's the same.
No, I don't think so.
And we used to have we don't have anything that's single gene Nanny anymore. The closest thing we probably have is like a vanilla Nanny baby or a super.
Is it still Nanny? I thought it was getting changed.
What's that? So I honestly I go back and forth with it, but it's like the official name is still Nanny on when you go to list it on Morph Market and shit. So
I've always pretty much been a Nanny guy because I get stuck.
Right. But I do like the name cartridge too.
So Lesser works really good with Hitari. This is a leopard. It's got some stuck shed, but this is leopard Lesser Hitari, Haashet VTI.
Nice.
Ooh.
See how Hitari. If you know what a leopard Lesser looks like.
Definitely.
See how much Hitari is blowing it up.
Busted it up.
Definitely did.
That's pretty dope.
Very nice.
And this year I should make Atari, the super form, and it might even be Visual Axanthic.
Okay. Oh yeah.
But that's why I think Shredder's totally cool. So I just have a vested interest because I like it. And I may get into it, but I kind of want to see how far I can take Atari.
Gotcha.
Because I have so much of it. I actually have about 7 or 8 girls and like 4 or 5 boys.
Damn.
So I want to make some Ataris and then work it with Atari. Like putting Atari together.
After the show, if you want, we'll show you some stuff we got, like when we're backstage and shit. Like,
yeah, that'd be cool.
Stuff we picked up.
And then I wonder how many of these, it's always an interesting conversation. Like, how many of the granite genes are actually the same?
Right.
Like, right. Are there really 30 granite genes, or they're just 8?
Right. I'm sure a lot of them got to be the same, but definitely I notice a lot of difference between a lot of them for sure. So, have you seen that Malice that Morph Money?
Yeah, well, it's just about ready to. The race is just about over. Though.
Oh, okay.
Oh, look at JNS. Get that camel tested.
This is already whooping everyone. Damn. 31 now.
Somebody test that camel.
All city up to 10.
But yeah, this one here is going to be Nanny and we believe that it's a gene that our buddy Carlos is working.
Okay.
Yeah, gotcha.
Called what?
Mile High.
Oh, okay.
Because this one is definitely brighter than our nanny stuff usually is.
But
You
it's
see-
different. That does not look like Atari to me.
No.
Oh, I see
And
the blushing that you said
they-
too.
yeah, like behind the neck or the
But
back.
these alien heads hold up better. He actually has alien heads where the Atari destroys them.
Right.
But it's still very pretty snake.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. I definitely don't think they're the same after seeing yours.
Yeah.
I've seen, I think, one picture of Malice. It's a granite gene, right?
Yeah.
Man.
Like
The
that
problem with like even Chet testing, it's gonna be so hard to lock those down to certain things. I
right?
don't know how to prove.
I'd call that snake like a level 1 granite. I'd call your snake like level 2 granite, and then I'd call like the Malice like level 3. Like that shit's crazy. Like,
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think it's up there with like the Cosmos and shit like that, you know?
It is for sure. Yeah. Not that it's a granite gene, but what it's doing to the snake, I would almost say Monsoon is the most extreme example of it. That
Right.
pixelation on the sides
Right.
just doesn't look like a sidewalk.
Yeah, JNS, I think you got this locked up.
Bless real quick.
Yeah.
So here's Vanilla and Super Nanny.
Okay, so Super Nanny you can definitely see.
Yeah.
All the speckling alien heads. Is the black really that black, or is that the camera? The back?
It's black.
Yeah, it's black.
Yeah, it looks, even on camera, it looks black.
I always told people if you treat Nanny like a recessive, you'll be more happy with it.
Yeah.
That's, I think, Atari. I think the Atari is where it'll shine. The single dose is you can tell it's granite, but it's not overpowering.
Right.
And let's be honest. I mean, if Monsoon is recessive, there's a lot of fucking recessives out there.
You know, and that's the thing. We struggle with those definitions because if pied is a recessive, then there's no such thing as pied markers.
Right.
That's what I say all the fucking time.
Because if they're pied markers, that means it's codon.
Recessive is you can't see.
But are you in a hurry to work that code on pied? No, I'm just kidding.
But I mean, literally, if it's a recessive, there are no visual markers.
No markers. Yeah. I say that all the time. But it is all head normal.
Yeah. I'm like, so it's not recessive, or it is?
It is all het and homo though.
Right.
Yeah. It is.
We're going to do 3 more races, and then we're going to see who the winner is. It looks like it's going to be JNS, though. He's at 33 points, and the closest is having a ball with 21. And the closest to having a ball is Big Sam with 17.
Yeah. But Monsoon for me was the last straw in me believing in recessives. I'm like, okay, if that's a recessive, then there just is no recessives.
Or at least how we classify them.
Exactly.
You know, one of the things about the business side of it is you have to come up with strategies to sell your gene, and you want to sell it for the most money. And Monsoon sells better because people think it's a recessive, where it wouldn't be as much as if it was a codon.
Right. I don't like that.
Yeah. But, you know, that's why similar genes, if you can get certain people, you know, we mentioned one of the big breeders earlier, but if you can get certain people behind your gene, the price goes up, where similar looking genes don't take off because the right guys didn't get behind them.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Far out.
Like one of the genes I work in, I think it's cool and I think it actually stands out, but it didn't get the push it needed. And so people are like, what gene is it, or what does it do? But like the Rio or the single gene Arroyo.
Arroyo? Yeah.
I've seen some nice stuff with it.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Black.
I have a Mojave Rio, and I think it's crazy, and I think it does stuff. I'm gonna have to be the one to like champion that gene and really promote it, or I won't really get that traction.
Right.
I don't have you know, one of the biggest guys or one, you know, the bigger guys like, man, look at this gene. That one got hurt because the guy who's founded that gene got out of ball pythons and sold the project to like 4 different people, so it didn't have that chance to get that traction.
Right.
The camels don't look as cool, like being restless, as the spiders do.
I agree. The camels are more fun though because we get toes.
Come on, Toe.
And they have riders too. Remember, I think the turkeys, they didn't even have riders, did they?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Nuh-uh.
You've
Or
ever
the
met turkeys, and if you try to get them to race, they're probably going to turn around and attack you.
right. Imagine riding a spider though.
That's it.
So we'll do this race and one more, and it looks like JNS is going to win. And, well, Having a Ball did get a little closer. It's JNS with 33. Having a Ball has 24. So he did. But and then Big Sam with 17. So not as close as it has been.
All city. Look at him. Oh. Maybe.
Big
Sam. Yeah, up to 22 now. Trying to make that move for second.
Oh, yeah.
Melissa Proxima on the board. And Sea of Serpents up to 8. All right, last race. See if anything can switch up here. It looks like, yep, JNS has first locked up. 9-point lead. Big Sam.
Last race with a 9-point lead, yeah, so nobody can even catch him.
But like second and third is still up for grabs. Like Big Sam's close enough to take second over. I don't know if anyone is close enough to third to take that, though. Doesn't really look like it. Nope. Yeah, that's the only
thing up for grabs is second and third.
Yeah, that's the only thing that can happen is second and third switch. So JNS, congratulations. You got the $100 Colorado Cold Bloods.
There's 13, and 15.
Yeah, but 15 plus 5 is 20, and we got 22 and 24 there.
Oh, never mind. I didn't see that. Yeah.
Your math ain't mathing.
Nope, it ain't. I didn't see the 22 and the 24 because it was all the way over there. As well as I didn't see the 30. Yeah.
Yeah, JNS put the hurting on this week.
Yes, sir.
JBC, that puts you on the board. And Wiz didn't do bad. He had 14 points, so he was kind of in there this week. But we got James, JNS, 33, $100 to Colorado Cold Bloods.
Hell yeah.
Having a Ball, Josh, $50 FnA credit, and Big Sam, $25 FnA credit.
And big thank you to Colorado Cold Bloods for being the sponsor this week.
Hell yeah. I think that's the third $100 credit they've given out on our show. They did like 2 sponsorships, and then they gave one out last week along with.
They're real big in Tri-Stripe, right? Isn't that what they're doing?
Yep, Tri-Stripe, and they got a new gene that's I think's gonna be. Dude, they put it up and held it up next to a hype. Go look at the show we did with them last week, and they held this Hypo Tri-Stripe up to this new gene, and the new gene looked like it was like an Ultramel Hypo Tri-Stripe or G-Stripe or something.
It's nuts.
And it was just one gene.
Yeah, it's nuts.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's nuts.
That's cool. But thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you for being here, brother. We appreciate it.
Much appreciated.
And for those that don't know, the one thing that's better than sushi is